Chapter 853. For treatment. He said he hasn't been feeling well lately. I don't know if it's because of the medicine he took, but we made an appointment today. Don't worry about me. If I'm sleepy, I'll take a nap at the hospital. Don't worry about me. If you're tired from work, you should take a nap in the office. You stayed up so late with me last night, okay. Xianxia nodded. Huamin stared at her husband for a while before asking slowly, Honey, why do you have a gun? Xianxia slowly raised his head and looked at Huamin's face. He said word by word, shootings happen all the time in the States. The area I lived in wasn't peaceful for a while. I was robbed by a few black men. Then, to protect myself, I bought a gun. It's legal to own a gun in the States. Maybe I got used to it and felt insecure after I came back, so I asked Rick to get me another one. Oh, Huamin nodded. What's wrong? Are you scared? No, I was just scared that something would happen to you. I was a little surprised. It's okay. I'll be fine, Xianxia comforted her. Honey, those years in the States must have been hard, right? Huamin had never asked Xianxia how he was doing in the States. She didn't dare to think about it because she knew that Xianxia wasn't an ignorant rich kid who ate, drank, and played every day in the States. He was Chinese and lived in a place like the States for 7 years. He didn't have any friends or family and was extremely lonely. When Xianxia said that he was robbed, it was just an understatement, but Huamin could feel that it wasn't a happy memory. The truth was, when Xianxia first went to the States, he was just a young man in his early 20s. He wasn't mature yet. He wasn't familiar with the place and would be ostracized if he went there. Once, after studying at night, he was robbed by a few black men in a pickup truck on his way home. Xianxia was actually very skilled. He was a taekwondo master in China. But it was useless in America because they had guns. If you moved, you would die in minutes. Therefore, he was beaten up badly and robbed of all his money. In the end, he endured the pain, got up, called an ambulance, and went to the hospital. When he arrived at the hospital, the doctor said that he had broken 3 ribs on his left side. But that was in a foreign country. He was all alone. He had no parents, no Huamin. He had spent those days alone. Later on, he bought a gun from the black market and became even colder. However, he had never been bullied by anyone. Instead, he had once saved the life of a gang leader during a gang fight. That person was Rick's elder brother, Lino. Thus, he was still the benefactor of the Rick family. However, he had never mentioned these unpleasant memories to Huamin, because he didn't want her to worry or be sad. However, Huamin was a smart person. She could tell that Xianxia was trying to cover up his sadness. Honey, from now on, no one will bully you. I'll protect you. Huamin's eyes were once again drowned in tears. She looked at Xianxia and said in a choked voice, From now on, I'll need you to protect me, Dr. Hua. Xianxia smiled. Huamin's heart ached even more. After breakfast, Xianxia drove Huamin to Southside before he went to work. When Huamin arrived at Southside, her eyes felt dry. She picked up the eye drops on her desk and poured 2 drops on them. An Yang walked in at this time. He didn't even knock on the door, so no one noticed. Sister Huamin. You little brat, you scared me. Why didn't you knock? Huamin put down the eye drops and looked at an Yang. I didn't want to disturb other people. The nurses at your hospital are so annoying. I was afraid that they would come over and ask for autographs or pictures. An Yang laughed. You didn't sleep well last night? Why are your eyes so red? An Yang was shocked when he saw Huamin's rabbit-like eyes. Chapter 854. Yeah, I had something to deal with at home last night. Let's go, I'll take you for a checkup. Then, she dragged an Yang to the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery. Although Southside started out as a sanatorium, with continuous improvements and the help of the Hua Foundation, it gradually became a top hospital for both recuperation and treatment. More and more people came to seek treatment. President Wu also seemed to be paying more attention to Southside and often came for meetings. Huamin thought that Yang might have developed those symptoms because he often stayed up late, was tired, or ate irregularly and had poor digestion. However, she never expected, When Director Su of the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery handed her the report, her heart sank. Director Su, this isn't a misdiagnosis, right? How is that possible? Director Su, who was in his 50s, immediately became angry. Huamin, what do you mean by that? I have more than 30 years of clinical experience. I'm very experienced and I've never misdiagnosed anyone. How can you not trust me? Seeing that Director Su was angry, Huamin quickly explained. That's not what I meant, Director Su. What I meant was, could it be that our equipment is new, so there are some errors in the data? No, I've seen a lot of patients with his condition over the years. It's definitely this illness. But he's only 23 years old. Huamin was in disbelief. You call yourself a doctor? What does age have to do with illness? How could a teenager not have cerebral hemorrhage? How can you analyze the illness based on age? No, I just think it's too sudden. The main problem now is that this person needs to be hospitalized. If there's any delay, his life will be in danger. But he? Huamin's hands trembled as she held the report. She never thought that Ni Yang would have this illness. There were a few eye-catching words written on the report. It was so dazzling: primary bile effusion, advanced stage of liver cirrhosis. Although Huamin had not studied this disease in depth, she knew what it was. It was a very serious liver failure disease. Most of the patients had no appetite, obvious pain in the abdomen, and weight loss. There were also some patients who suffered from diarrhea, which was a very scary condition. Moreover, Ni Yang was still in the middle and late stages. Do you know what that means? This meant that the patient had to be hospitalized to find a suitable sperm donor. To perform a liver transplant, this patient must have been engaged in a high-intensity job for a long time and was under a lot of mental stress, which caused the decline of his immune system. Most of the patients I've dealt with before were in the TC industry or the sales industry. Director Su analyzed. Director Su, if he wants treatment now, is there any good way to treat him? If you don't want to have a transplant. No. It's written very clearly that he's in the middle and late stages. If he doesn't have a liver transplant, he probably won't last long. I saw on the scan that 38% of his liver has lost its function. It's damaged and needs a new transplant. Oh, right, he also has Rh-negative blood, so it's probably not easy to find a donor. The chances are slim. Director Su's words almost made Huamin faint. Not only did he need a surgery, but Ni Yang also had Rh-negative blood? Oh my God, this was simply adding insult to injury. It was difficult enough because there were very few people who donated their livers. Most of the time, corpses were useless. Only living donors could achieve the best results. However, who would be willing to donate 38% of their livers? Moreover, there were very few Rh-negative blood donors. For a moment, Huamin only felt that her heart had hit rock bottom. Huamin, is this person your relative? Director Su asked curiously. Chapter 855. He's a great little brother of mine. Huamin choked up. I see, that's unfortunate. Get him admitted to the hospital as soon as possible. Also, contact his family to draw blood and see if there's anyone with his blood type. Okay, I'll arrange it as soon as possible. 5 minutes after Director Su left, Ni Yang walked out of the examination room. Huamin immediately crumpled up the report and put it in his pocket. Sister Huamin, what did the doctor say? Oh, nothing. He just said you have indigestion, probably because you don't eat regularly. Are you serious? Don't lie to me. Why would I? Huamin forced a smile. Don't tell me. I have cancer? Ni Yang suddenly asked. What are you talking about? Huamin was a little angry. Huh, I'm just joking, why are you so nervous? Ni Yang laughed. No joking, don't say such unlucky things. Huamin looked at him fiercely. I know, don't yell at me. Ni Yang giggled like an idiot. Ever since he met Huamin, he smiled more than before. Even his fans said that he was very sunny now. Should I get some medicine? Ni Yang asked. Not for now, you can go back first. I'll talk to Sister Yingzi about how to adjust your schedule. Okay, I haven't eaten yet. Let's go, I'll treat you to dinner. I'm not going, I still have work to do. Okay, I'll treat you to a big meal next time. Then, Yang put on a mask and a baseball cap and left Southside Recuperation Center. Huamin called Ingzi with a lot on his mind. After Ingzi found out the truth, she covered her face and cried. A young lady, what should we do now? I'll ask the company to give him a break first, and then persuade him to stay in the hospital. After that, I'll tell him the truth when I find him. Please save him. He's such a pitiful child. Sister Ingzi was already in tears. I will. He's like my own little brother. After the phone call, Huamin's heart became even heavier. Panda blood? Why must it be Rh-negative blood? This was simply asking for his life. At this moment, she suddenly thought of someone and rushed upstairs without a care. In the VIP ward, Xie was wiping Shuai's face. Thank you, big sister. Dr. Hua. Xie turned around. Come here quick. Okay. Xie put down the towel in her hand, got up and walked out. Sister Xie, what's your blood type? Blood type? I've never tested it before, so I don't know. Xie was startled. Then come with me. Huamin didn't wait for Xie to speak before he pulled her by the hand and ran to the blood test area. Please, give her a blood type test. Quickly. Okay, Dr. Hua. The young nurse immediately began to draw Xie blood. What's wrong? Dr. Hua, why is he drawing my blood all of a sudden? Xie was confused. I'll tell you when the results come out. It's a long story. After the blood test, Huamin asked his colleagues to hurry up. Not long after, Xie blood type came out. Huamin took it and looked at it. He was ecstatic. That's great, you have it too? It's true. What do you mean? Xie was confused. You have Rh-negative blood. You don't know that, right? What's Rh-negative blood? Xie was confused. She didn't understand what Huamin was saying. Rh-negative blood is the common name for Rh-negative blood. Because it's very rare, it's called Rh-negative blood. Oh, so that's what it is. Xie finally understood a little. Sister Xie? Yang is sick, and he really needs your help. What's wrong with him? Xie was stunned when she heard that Yang was sick. You might not understand the scientific name, so I'll just say it. He has liver failure, and it's very serious. If he doesn't get surgery in time, his life will be in danger. Huh? Xie face turned pale. Although she didn't really care about her son, she was still scared when she heard that he might die. Chapter 856. He doesn't know about his condition yet, and I want him to be hospitalized as soon as possible. You're his mother, and you have the same blood type as him, so I want to ask you, can you help Yang? How can I help? Xie didn't know how to react. Donate your liver? Donate 38% of your liver to you. Because you're his immediate family and have the same blood type as him, there's a high chance that your liver won't reject him. Once you succeed, he'll be like a normal person. Otherwise, he won't last 3 years. Donate my liver. This was a bit sudden for Xie. She was just an ordinary woman with no education, so she couldn't accept such a big thing all of a sudden. Unlike Shuai, whose blood was thicker than water, Xie hesitated this time. Miss Xie, don't worry. Even if you donate your liver, it won't be life-threatening. There might be some side effects in the future, but it won't endanger your life. I know you're worried that no one will take care of Shuai. Dr. Hua, this is too sudden. Let me think about it. Okay, I don't want to make things difficult for you. Think about it. Seeing that Xie wanted to think about it, Huamin didn't say anything else. Huamin didn't feel well the entire day. So, when she got home from work, she was unexpectedly distracted while driving. Huang Yu's situation hadn't even been sorted out yet, and now this incident had happened here. She hadn't known Yang for long, but he was very loyal to her. Huamin liked him a lot. Although she didn't spoil him as much as Jixin did, she really cared about him. Especially since he had such a pitiful background and was suffering from severe depression. At a fork in the road, the green light suddenly turned red. Huamin didn't notice it and directly ran past it. Then, she bumped into a black Mazda 6 that was coming from the side. There was a loud bang. Luckily, it wasn't very serious. It was just a light collision. However, the man who got out of the Mazda 6 wasn't going to let it go. He yelled at Huamin. "Are you blind? Didn't you see the red light? Fuck, so what if you're rich? Don't you know who you are when you drive an Audi R8? Do you have a driver's license? Don't tell me you bought your driver's license. You're still driving in this state. It's a miracle that you're still alive." The middle-aged uncle who got off the Mazda 6 had a very bad mouth. He spat at Huamin. Huamin didn't know how to react. She had been wondering if Xie Wan would save an Yang. At this time, a flashy red Ferrari stopped and Su Yu stepped out. "What is it?" "This woman was blind and hit my car," the middle-aged man said. "I'll compensate you for hitting your car. Don't you think you're going overboard by scolding me?" Su Yu glared at the middle-aged man. "I just want to scold. What does it have to do with you? Who are you?" The middle-aged man didn't seem to notice that Su Yu was the owner of a Ferrari. Su Yu couldn't help but chuckle at his unreasonableness. Without another word, he returned to his car, stepped on the accelerator, and faced the uncle's Mazda 6 in the middle of the road. With a bang, he hit it. The front of the Ferrari was injured, and the Mazda 6 was basically cut in half. It was too horrible to look at. You actually dared to hit my car. When the traffic police come, I'll teach you a lesson." "There's no need to wait for the traffic police. Your new car doesn't even cost 200,000 yuan. I'll give you 300,000 yuan to buy a new car. As for the remaining 100,000, apologize to my friend immediately." "Apologize? Are you kidding me? She hit me." "You have 10 seconds to think about it. If you don't apologize, I promise you won't get a single cent." Su Yu didn't look like he was joking at all. Which traffic police in C City didn't know him, Lord Su? Chapter 857. If they were here, they would judge the uncle for his mistake. The uncle wasn't stupid. He knew that this kid was the owner of a Ferrari and wasn't someone to mess with. So, he immediately looked at Huamin and said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you. I was too agitated." Huamin was speechless. She didn't expect Su Yu to appear here. After the uncle apologized, Su Yu took out a platinum business card and threw it at the uncle's face. "Go to this place tomorrow and get 300,000 yuan. Remember to bring your suitcase, we only give you cash." The uncle took the business card and looked at the name on it. He was so scared that his scalp went numb. "Su Yu?" These two words were like a god in this city. No, I don't want it, I don't want the money." Before Su Yu could say anything, the uncle turned and ran, as if he was afraid that he would offend someone important. "Are you okay?" Su Yu looked back at Huamin and asked with concern. Huamin shook his head. "You don't usually drive like this. Why were you distracted today?" I was too engrossed in my thoughts." "It's too dangerous. It's okay if you hit someone, but it's bad if you get hurt. Luckily it was a Mazda today. If it was a truck, I don't even dare to think about it." Su Yu was still scared. He was going back to the Su mansion after work, but he didn't expect to see a traffic jam. When he passed by, he saw the license plate of the Audi R8 and knew that it was Huamin. He immediately got out of the car. Just now. Thank you." Huamin sincerely thanked Su Yu. "What are you thanking me for? Go home, drive slowly." "Okay." Huamin turned around and got into the car. Then he drove away. When the traffic police saw that it was Lord Su, they didn't dare to approach him. They just dispersed the crowd. When Su Yu returned home, it was already 6 p.m. "Grandpa, you're finally back. I missed you so much." As soon as Su Yu entered the house, he saw Lord Su sitting on the sofa in the living room drinking tea and watching the news. She immediately rushed forward and gave the old man a big hug. "If I didn't call you, would you even know to come home?" Although Lord Su scolded her, his eyes were full of love. "I've been back many times recently. You and Dad aren't home, so I have to come back to accompany Mom." So obedient. Obviously, the old man didn't believe it. Lady Su came downstairs with a smile and said, "Dad, you is telling the truth. He even ate the egg fried rice I made that day. At least you have a conscience. The old man was obviously very happy. Madam, dinner is ready, the maid said carefully. I'll go get your dad. You and Grandpa can sit first. Then, Su Yu's grandfather stood up. His body was very sturdy. He walked to the wine cabinet and took a bottle of Jian Nan Chun. Brat, drink with me? Sure. It's rare for Grandpa to be so happy. I have to drink. Su Yu liked his grandfather very much and knew how to please him. The grandfather and grandson opened a 500-liter bottle of white wine. Just then Mrs. Su and Mr. Su came downstairs. Dad. You're back? Mr. Su had always been very serious. Because he managed the largest private bank in the country, he often went on business trips. He traveled all over the country and dealt with the executives of various provinces and cities, so he was very old-fashioned. There were more than 10 delicious dishes on the table. The family of 4 sat down, and the atmosphere was very lively. Have you had a girlfriend recently? Lord Su asked. No. Tell me the truth. Lord Su obviously didn't believe him. I really haven't, Grandpa, Su Yu replied as he picked up a mouthful of vegetables and ate. But why did I see some news and newspapers say that you have a close relationship with a popular female celebrity in your company? Lord Su asked in all seriousness. Chapter 858. Grandpa, you're the head of the military, how can you read all this gossip? You must be drunk. Drunk? How can I be drunk when I haven't even had a drink? You're just talking nonsense. The old man obviously didn't know what the internet was talking about and misunderstood Su Yu's meaning. Dad, when he said he was drunk, he didn't mean that he was really drunk. He meant that he was speechless, Mr. Su explained. Su Yu immediately gave him a thumbs up. See, my dad's the quick-witted one. Go away, let's get down to business. You're almost 30, but you still don't know how to be serious. Mr. Su scolded. Su Yu stuck out his tongue. Mrs. Su immediately defended her son. You just came back, don't talk about our son. He's been busy with work recently. Su Yu is like this because you spoiled him. Mr. Su looked at Mrs. Su and scolded her. Why are you blaming me? Isn't he your son? It's as if you don't love him. It's rare for us to get together, let's not talk about these unpleasant things. Then tell Grandpa, when are you going to find me a granddaughter-in-law? What's the rush? Aren't things fine now? What if I find you a barbaric and unreasonable woman? What if she pisses you off? Su Yu said on purpose. I'm happy even if she pisses me off. I'm old and want a great-grandson. That's easy. I'll make a test tube. Don't talk nonsense, eat, Mr. Su scolded. Huamin was driving. Before he arrived home, he received a call from Jixin. Sis, something happened. What happened? Huamin's heart skipped a beat. She jumped off a building. Then, Jixin began to cry. Huamin slammed on the brakes and stopped the car on the side of the road. Gasping for air, she made a sharp turn and drove straight to the first hospital. When she arrived, Huang Yu was already covered with a white cloth and was being wheeled to the morgue. Huang Yu's family members were crying their eyes out. The entire corridor was filled with sorrowful sobs. How could this be? Huamin was dumbfounded. About half an hour ago, she said she wanted vegetable porridge, so I went out to buy it, but Jixin burst into tears again. The nurse at the hospital told Huamin that half an hour ago, Huang Yu sent Jixin and her family away. She jumped from the 6th floor of her apartment and landed on her head. It was obvious that he wanted to die. The hospital carried him to the emergency room for more than 20 minutes before declaring him brain dead. Actually, Huang Yu's decision wasn't too surprising. Qin Chu called her before she got off work. At the Gao Ran police station, several scumbags had already confessed. Ever since that party, that scumbag called Yuan Ziwei had his eyes on Huang Yu. He had been pestering her. He even took a lot of photos of her and threatened her to have sex with him. During this time, he kept on abusing and sexually assaulting her. Because she was timid, she endured it all. That day, after feeding Huang Yu medicine, 3 of the 6 of them took turns to have sex with Huang Yu. Huang Yu didn't remember at first when she woke up, but she gradually remembered. Then, she kept showering and talking to herself in a daze. Later, when Jixin went out, she couldn't take it anymore and jumped down. Perhaps, to her now, death was her true salvation. Huamin leaned against the wall in the corridor, his heart sinking bit by bit. In front of him was still that girl who loved to smile. He asked nosily, "Mian, you also graduated from second high, do you know Prince Qinchu?" Such a good girl, but because she met a scumbag in her best years, she fell into a swamp of mud. Huamin's tears slowly fell. Then she and Jixin hugged each other in the corridor, and the siblings burst into tears. "Sis? I'm so sad, my heart hurts. I feel like I'm going to die," Jixin said with difficulty as he pointed at his chest. Huang Yu was his first love, the girl he loved the most, but now, she died in front of him. When Qinchu arrived at the hospital, it was already past 7 p.m. He drove Huamin and Jixin back to Sky Blessing Court. When Yang Meirong heard the news, she was also devastated. Everyone in the family was silent. "Honey, those scumbags, how did the police deal with them?" Huamin suddenly hated those scumbags. Chapter 859. We found a lot of Bing, enough to warrant a death sentence. "Don't worry," Qinchu said slowly. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. "Sis, I'm a bit sleepy, I'm going upstairs." "Jixin?" Huamin stood up nervously. "Sis, I'm fine. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid. I still have you and Mom to take care of. I just want to be alone for a while." You have to pull yourself together. You have to live like a man." Huamin knew that for the 19-year-old Jixin, losing the love of his life was a very painful thing. She was really afraid that he wouldn't be able to take it. Jixin nodded. Yang Meirong wiped away her tears. "Look at you, she's such a nice girl. How could she be with those people? She even hid it from us and didn't let us help her. What a shame, she's only 21 years old. I always thought that she could be our daughter-in-law. Mom, the dead can't come back to life. Don't be sad, take good care of Jixin. Okay, you two should go home. Look at the bags under your eyes. You haven't slept well in the past few days." Yang Meirong looked at Huamin with heartache. When Qinchu pulled Huamin into the car, Qinchu suddenly asked, "Honey, did you get into a car accident today?" "Yeah. Are you okay?" "No, my car just got scratched. It's okay, you can get it fixed at a 4S shop. After I got into a car accident today, I ran into Suyu. He came over and helped me out," Huamin said. "Yeah." Qinchu nodded. He was comforted by Huamin's honesty. "Honey, yeah? I know you're sad, but we still have to get over it. I know I'm sad, but I can adjust. I'm just worried that I think Jixin might have matured a lot after this incident. Don't worry so much." When the two arrived home, it was already 10 p.m. Huamin's stomach growled in hunger. Although she kept saying that she had no appetite, Qinchu still insisted on making her a bowl of ramen. Then, he coaxed her to eat a little bit. After eating, Huamin nestled in Qinchu's arms with an indifferent expression. "Hubby, if I die one day, will you miss me?" "I won't." "So heartless?" Huamin raised his head, clearly displeased. Qinchu looked into Huamin's eyes affectionately and said quietly, "If you live, I live. If you die, I die." After hearing this, Huamin was deeply shocked once again. She wrapped her arms tightly around Qinchu's waist. Suddenly, he felt that the parting between life and death was too frightening. Perhaps it was just around the corner. A fresh life could wither in an instant, and then they would never have the chance to meet again for the rest of their lives. At 11 p.m., Jixin updated his WeChat moments. He posted a picture of a candle praying and wrote, "In this world, other than life and death, everything else is insignificant. I hope that you will never suffer again, and I hope that you can forget everything that you should forget." Huamin's heart ached, so he sent him a WeChat message. "Jixin, she won't suffer anymore in heaven. My condolences." "Sis, I suddenly have an idea. I wonder if you'll agree with me?" Jixin replied. "What? I want to study abroad and leave this city for a while. Otherwise, I think I'll die of heartache." Jixin felt that Huang Yu's shadow was everywhere in this city, so he was very sad. Now. Huamin froze. Chapter 860. Sis? I want to leave right now. I want to leave right now. Jixin. Huamin's heart suddenly ached, but she didn't know what to say to her brother. Everyone understood the big picture, but persuasion wasn't enough to make him feel better. After all, he had been through so much. Huang Yu's death was a heavy blow to Jixin. No matter how strong he was only 19 years old. This was why Huamin didn't want Jixin to get into a relationship too early. It was because he was too infatuated and thought too highly of everything. He hadn't seen through the sadness, darkness, pain, and despair of the world. Sis? I can't take it anymore. I think I'm going to die. Huamin was silent. Sis, let me go. I promise that in a year or 2, 3 or 5, time will heal all wounds. But right now, I really need to leave. Mom and I will miss you a lot. I know, it's not like I'm never coming back. I just want to study abroad, just like my brother-in-law did. Do you have a country you want to go to? Huamin finally compromised. Anything. I just want to leave here as soon as possible. Okay, I'll discuss it with your brother-in-law. Huamin hung up her phone with a heavy heart. She glanced at Qin Chu, who was reading beside her. Jixin wants to go abroad. That's a good idea, sure. Qin Chu was very calm. But I'll miss him a lot. Boys have to go out and gain experience. You can't protect him forever. Plus, there are a lot of things that you can't help with. He'll figure it out on his own, just like a little bird. He'll grow up and leave on his own. He'll become a responsible man like me, a husband to a woman, and a great father in the future. So, you really don't have to miss him. I think it's good to go out and broaden your horizons. Qin Chu put down the book in his hand and gently comforted Huamin. Then, where do you think we should go? I've never been abroad and I don't know where to go. It's so sudden. Jixin's idea was too sudden, and Huamin wasn't ready yet, so he was a little confused. She turned to Qin Chu for help. Singapore or New Zealand? Didn't you say that Europe and America are more developed? Huamin was a little confused. Europe and the United States are developed, but the environment there isn't very safe. Jixin's personality is suitable for countries with better security and higher happiness index. Singapore and New Zealand are known for their good security, beautiful scenery, and developed citizens. I'm sure he'll like them. All right. Then I'll go to the company tomorrow and help him with the procedures to go abroad. Huamin nodded weakly. Does Auntie know? I don't know yet. I'll talk to my mother about it when the contract is completed. All right. When does he want to leave? Huamin sighed. His voice was very soft. He said that the sooner the better. It's best if it's now. All right, I got it. Then, the couple fell asleep in each other's arms. The good thing was that with Qin Chu by her side, Huamin didn't have to do a lot of things himself. It was a lot more relaxing. She felt that it was better to share all her sadness with 2 people than to shoulder it alone. She was very grateful that Qin Chu was by her side at this moment. When Huamin went to work the next day, Sister Yingzi forcefully dragged Anai Yang to the hospital. Huamin and Anai Yang were chatting as they walked. Sister Huamin, Sister Yingzi is making a mountain out of a molehill? I just have indigestion. Why do I have to stay in the hospital and stop work? This is too much. Hurry up and talk to her. You haven't been that busy lately, so it's good for you to rest in the hospital. Treat it like a vacation. I'm speechless. Why are you speaking up for her? Sister Huamin, are you guys hiding something from me? Anai Yang was beside Huamin and was still strongly protesting about being hospitalized. Just then, they bumped into Xie Wan, who had just returned from buying fruits for Shuai Shuai. She was wearing an old red shirt and a pair of worn-out black pants. She was carefully carrying a few apples. Why you here? Anai Yang's eyes gradually turned cold when he saw Xie Wan. Xie Wan was also very surprised, as if she wasn't mentally prepared. She looked at Anai Yang with a conflicted expression. Chapter 861. Xie Wan looked at Anai Yang, then looked at Huamin. Without saying a word, she lowered her head and left. Why is she here? Ai Yang frowned. He was still upset about Xie Wan's appearance. Who is she? Huamin pretended not to know. She didn't want Ai Yang to know anything right now. She's the woman who heartlessly abandoned me. Ha, what a joke. Why is she here? Did something happen to my good son? Ai Yang said coldly. Forget it. Don't worry about other people for now, ancestor. Take care of yourself first. South side is pretty good. I've arranged a VIP room for you on the top floor, but there's one thing you can't go downstairs. You'll cause a riot. Hey. Huamin, sister. No matter how much Ai Yang protested, Huamin ignored him. In the end, she forced him to stay in the VIP room on the top floor and arranged for a caregiver and a doctor. Everyone kept Ai Yang's identity a secret because of his special identity. Ai Yang had no choice but to do as he was told, but he didn't know what kind of illness he had. His attitude was quite optimistic. He watched TV, listened to music, and surfed the internet every day, but he couldn't go downstairs. Sister Yingzi quietly pulled Huamin out and asked, "A young lady? Ai Yang is in the hospital. The surgery has to be done as soon as possible. Otherwise, if he doesn't show up for a long time, the fans will riot. The media will be watching, and if they find out that he's in the hospital, the consequences will be unimaginable." I know, I'm anxious too. Right now, there's no suitable surgery. I'll think of something. Okay, I'll wait for your news. After leaving the hospital room, Huamin's heart was heavy. Xie Wan hadn't made up her mind yet, and she didn't want to rush her. Ai Yang's life was still in the hands of the woman who once abandoned him. If Xie Wan didn't agree, she had no other choice. She could only go to other places to see if there were any suitable catheters and continue to operate on Ai Yang. Huamin felt that things weren't going well for him lately, whether it was Jixin, Huang Yu, or Shuai, Ai Yang, they all made her heart ache. When she got off work, she received another call from the Huo Corporation. The call was from Huo Xiqian's secretary, asking her to attend the board meeting. Huamin felt a headache coming on. He wanted to refuse to attend, but he vaguely remembered that Huo Xiqian was about to make a move. It would be bad if the plan was disrupted because of him. Therefore, he braced himself and drove straight to the Huo Corporation. Huo Group headquarters. Huamin was a very punctual person. She always arrived 5 minutes early. When she arrived at the meeting room, Huo Yanyan and the others weren't there yet. Huo Xiqian wasn't there either. Only a few board members were there. When they saw Huamin, they politely greeted her. Of course, it wasn't because she was the daughter of the Huo Corporation, but because she was now Qin Chu's wife. That was the key. People were snobbish. "Mian, you're here so early," Huo Zhenghai greeted Huamin as soon as he walked in. Huamin nodded slightly, then Huo Yanyan and Xinjiani walked in behind Huo Zhenghai. After them, Huo Si walked in. When he saw Huamin, his eyes were filled with fear. He hid far away from Huamin and sat down beside Huo Yanyan without saying anything. At 6:15 p.m., Huo Xiqian walked in with his beautiful secretary. He was wearing a coffee-colored casual suit, and the smile on his face was gone. Something seemed to have happened. When he saw Huamin, a flash of gentleness appeared in his eyes, but no one else noticed it. "President Huo, you can begin," the female secretary reminded him softly. Chapter 862. Huo Xiqian looked around. "Is everyone here?" "Everyone's here," the female secretary replied. "Okay, then let's begin. Today's meeting is about my good brother, Mr. Huo Si, his negligence in the project he was in charge of. Si, tell everyone about it." After Huo Xiqian finished speaking, he slammed the documents onto the table. Then he leaned back in his chair, looking very impatient. Huo Si was a little scared, as if he didn't dare to speak. "Si, what's wrong?" Xinjiani looked at her son anxiously and asked. "Everyone has a copy of the detailed documents in front of you. If Vice President Huo is too embarrassed to say it himself, you can take a look for yourselves. It'll be clear at a glance." After Huo Xiqian finished speaking, Huamin took the documents in front of him and slowly opened them. After looking through them, he roughly understood the situation. The project had only been launched for less than 2 months, but the Hua Corporation had already invested nearly 600 million yuan. However, Hua Xiqian recently found out that less than 300 million yuan was actually spent on the project. In other words, 400 million yuan had disappeared without a trace. The accounts were also very vague, so it was obvious that someone had tampered with them. After reading the documents, Hua Min didn't say anything, nor did he move. Hua Jinghai took a look at the documents, and then his face gradually darkened. "See, what's going on?" Hua Jinghai asked in a serious tone. "Dad, this has nothing to do with me, I really don't know. I didn't take a single cent, and I don't know where the money went either. Maybe I didn't invest that much in the first place." Hua Si desperately tried to shift the blame. "Bastard." Hua Zhenghai slammed the documents onto the table. "I was the one who signed the financial audit, how could I not know how much money was spent?" Hua Zhenghai was a little angry at his youngest son's excuse. "Don't be angry. Let's get to the bottom of this first. Si wouldn't have the guts to do something so stupid." Shen Jiani felt bad for her son and immediately tried to persuade him. "Yeah, Dad, don't be angry. I think my brother might have been set up by someone. Who knows? After all, there are a lot of ambitious people in our company who might have wronged my brother," Hua Yanyan said as she looked at Hua Xiqian with hostility. Hua Xiqian sneered and didn't even bother to speak. "You've taken over this project for some time now. So, tell me, where did the money end up? Did you grow wings and fly away?" Hua Xiqian sneered. "How would I know? I wasn't the only one who accepted this project. There were at least 50 people involved in this project, if not 100, so it's normal that it's gone. Big brother, you should investigate the vampires under me, not me." Hua Si tried to push all the blame onto someone else and find a few scapegoats to take the blame. Shin Jiani immediately added, "That's right, there are always problems with the accounts every time we take on a project. It's unavoidable. After all, it's hard to clean up all the parasites, so we can't let Si take the blame. This kind of thing happens every time, but after Dad and I took over, we always kept the difference within 5 million yuan. This time, Mr. Hua Si found out that it was 400 million yuan. I have no choice but to ask, Dad, what do you think? 400 million yuan is too much. We have to investigate this thoroughly, we can't let it go." Hua Jinghai wasn't stupid. The Hua Corporation wasn't as rich as Imperial Star and GK. They wouldn't ignore a few 100 million yuan. Therefore, Hua Jinghai felt as if someone had cut off a piece of his heart. He wouldn't stop investigating just because he indulged his youngest son. Plus, subconsciously, he didn't think his youngest son had anything to do with it. "Then investigate, I didn't take it anyway." Hua Si didn't care at all. He seemed to think that with his dad, mom, and sister protecting him, Hua Xiqian wouldn't do anything to him, no matter how powerful he was. However, he was wrong. Hua Xiqian didn't do anything to him not because he was afraid of anyone. It was because he didn't have the right opportunity. "Little sister Mian, what do you think about this?" Hua Xiqian's gaze finally landed on Hua Min. Chapter 863. As soon as he said this, everyone's eyes immediately fell on Hua Min. Hua Min wore a navy blue coat today. She looked mature and her hair was fluffy. She looked like a Korean socialite. Compared to Hua Yanyan's DG floral dress, she was indeed low-key and luxurious. Since we have a board of directors, it's for everyone to discuss and make decisions on important matters, but in the end, it's all for the good of the company. Since there was such a vicious embezzlement, we naturally have to investigate to the end. Whoever is responsible will have to take responsibility. After Hua Min finished speaking, the other board of directors nodded in agreement. "Miss Hua is right, we all agree." "Very well, if that's the case, then I think we really need to investigate this thoroughly. Dad, what do you think?" After speaking, Hua Xiqian looked at Hua Jinghai again. "Yes, since everyone agrees, then let's investigate. We can discuss it when we find something." Hua Zhenghai thought that this was just the beginning and that the investigation would take a few more days. However, to his surprise, Hua Xiqian didn't intend to end the meeting. He turned around and said to the female secretary, "Distribute the second set of documents to everyone." "Yes, President Hua." The female secretary stood up and distributed the documents in her hands to all the board of directors. Huamin picked it up and quickly read through it. His eyes were still as calm as ever. She knew that Huasiqian would play Huasi to death in a matter of minutes. As expected, after Xinjiani and Hu Zhenghai read the second set of documents, their expressions changed. Xiqian, did you make a mistake? Yeah. Si wouldn't do this, he must have been framed. Xinjiani anxiously defended Huasi. Huh? Don't be so anxious. Let me finish. I'm investigating this matter, so I have to consider everything. I won't suspect anyone just because of 1 or 2 pieces of evidence. It's true that Si didn't take all of the 400 million yuan. He only took a portion of it. Then, Huasiqian picked up the second document in his hand and read, half a month ago, Mr. Huasi bought the white jade guanyin at the Lanyu auction house for more than 8 million yuan. Then he gave it to his date that night, an actress from Imperial Star, Miss Cotton Candy. This is reported by the media, and there are also videos of the auction house that prove it. Last Tuesday, Mr. Huasi went to Tianyu and spent 1.2 million yuan in one night. It's understandable that he treated his friends to a party since it was only a little over 1 million yuan. But here's the main point. Last Friday, he flew to Las Vegas with a few rich kids and young models and lost 48 million yuan in one-night gambling. Then he spent 1.2 million yuan on a one-night stand with a Russian actress. So far, the total is over 60 million yuan. After Huasiqian finished speaking, the crowd went into an uproar. See, is this true? Hu Zhenghai furrowed his brows and glared at his youngest son. Before he could explain himself, Huasiqian interrupted him. Huasiqian added, it's possible to check the entry and exit of the Las Vegas airport. Of course, the money wasn't directly transferred from his bank account. Instead, it was transferred from the company's finance department to an account in space, and then to his own account. This is a typical hacker operation. Although it's hard to find, I'm sorry. I have a friend who's a top-notch hacker and he figured out where the money went. So, see, my dear little brother, I want to ask you something. It doesn't matter if you spent or lost 60 million yuan, but where did you hide the remaining 300 million yuan? Take it out and I'll forgive you. No, I didn't. Huasi shook his head vehemently. Chapter 864. How dare you deny it? Huasi, how dare you? Hu Zhenghai never would have dreamed that he would do something like this. Giving gifts to female celebrities, having sex with foreign female celebrities, and spending a fortune at the casino, Hu Zhenghai had never been so extravagant in his life, not even to his beloved Xinjiani. Dad, don't listen to him. I spent the 60 million yuan, but I didn't take the 300 million yuan. I really didn't. I don't know where it went either. Huasi panicked and blurted everything out. Huamin immediately seized the opportunity and asked, so, you admit to taking the 60 million? All of the board members looked at Huasi with hatred in their eyes. Xinjiani's face was extremely ugly, and she reminded him, see, you can't say things like that, think carefully before you speak. Huasi couldn't take the pressure, so he got up and knelt down in front of Hu Zhenghai. I was wrong, I did spend the money, but I only took 60 million. I was encouraged by my friends, I didn't play with these things before, I was wrong, but I really don't know where the 300 million went, I really don't know, I didn't do it. Do you think anyone will believe you if you say that? My good brother, a prodigal son is more precious than gold. If you take out the remaining 300 million, we can forgive you, Huasiqian said with a gentle smile. At this moment, Huamin was sure that the 300 million wasn't in Huasi's hands. This time, he was really played by Huasiqian. You bastard, tell us where you hid the rest of the money, take it out. Hu Zhenghai kicked Huasi. Xinjiani was heartbroken, and she immediately went up to hug Huasi. Siku, tell me what happened. Why were you so stupid? I really didn't know about the 300 million or so. I only took 60 million. I was set up by someone. They said that hackers transferred the money to a Swiss bank account first, so they wouldn't be able to find it. I didn't expect it to be like this, I was wrong. My dear brother, you don't have to be afraid. I've already told you that the Hua family can afford 60 million yuan, so we can treat it as a joke. However, if you're using 400 million yuan for the project, that's unforgivable. Do you know what 400 million yuan means? It was true that the Hua Corporation wasn't the kind of corporation that could ignore hundreds of millions of yuan. Therefore, Hua Xiqian's expenses were far from Su Yu's. He did not spend much money himself. Most of the drivers were Maseratis that cost more than 2 million yuan, unlike Su Yu's Lamborghini and Ferrari. For a young prodigal like Hua Xi, it was normal for him to spend millions or even tens of millions. If he swallowed the 400 million yuan in one go, he would be in deep trouble. Zhenghai, I think the kid is a little scared. Why don't we talk about this at home? Xinjiani did not want to put more pressure on Hua Xi, so she wanted to talk about it at home. Hua Xiqian did not want to. He immediately laughed and said, "Director Xin, why are you so confused? This is a business matter, why do you have to talk about it at home? It's fine if it's our family, but the board of directors is watching us. If we don't give them an explanation, how can they accept it? Where's my dad's prestige? Where's my credibility? Where's the integrity of the Hua Corporation?" Hua Xiqian was indeed aggressive. Hua Min could tell that his plan was too meticulous. He wanted to bring down the idiot Hua Xi in one fell swoop. "See, tell me, where did the money go?" Even Hua Yanyan believed that the rest of the money was with Hua Xi. Shen Jiani immediately turned around and slapped Hua Yanyan. "What are you talking about? Didn't you hear your brother say that the rest of the money isn't with him? Why are you adding fuel to the fire?" Hua Yanyan was slapped. She covered her face and did not dare to make a sound. Hua Min did not say a word. "Little sister Mian, what do you think? Do you trust Si?" Hua Xiqian asked Hua Min with a smile. Hua Min said word by word, "I don't trust anyone. I only look at the evidence. I saw that all of the money was signed by Mr. Hua Xi. I think we can compare it with the original document to see if it's his handwriting or if someone forged it." "Perfect." Hua Xiqian clapped. Then, he turned around and said to his secretary, "Come, get the third document." Shen Jiani's heart sank when she heard that there was a third document. This time, Hua Xiqian came prepared. Chapter 865. When everyone saw the third set of documents, they understood what was going on. No matter how good the hacker was, he wouldn't be able to make money from the company's finances in just a few days. Only when the person in charge of the company signed the agreement to transfer the money from the finance department would the hacker take advantage of this gap and secretly steal the money. Then, he would transfer the money out of the bank account. To be honest, this method wasn't very smart. No one knew why Hua Xi signed the document. Hua Xi was also dumbfounded. He remembered that he was having an affair with the company's female assistant in the office. Later, the two discussed this matter. Since the female assistant had been working at the company for a long time, she knew more about it. Hua Xi had always been ridiculed by his rich friends for not being generous with his money, so he wanted to avenge himself. However, he didn't think that he would get into trouble. He thought that 60 million wasn't a lot of money and that at most, his mother would help him pay it back. However, he didn't think that Hua Xiqian would take the opportunity to put the missing 300 million on him. This made him speechless. "I was wrong. I shouldn't have listened to that woman, Qi Jelly. She gave me the idea, Qi Jelly?" Hua Jinghai looked at him coldly. "Oh, that's Xi's personal assistant. She's been working at the company for 3 years. She's quite a literary person, but she resigned 3 days ago. I checked and she's no longer in the country. I don't know where to start. She probably ran away." "Ridiculous. Hua Xi, how dare you?" Hua Jinghai was so angry that he almost had a heart attack when he heard that his youngest son and his female assistant cheated him out of so much money. "You're such a fool. Why didn't you discuss this with Mom?" Shen Jiani was angry and hateful when she saw her son being set up, but she couldn't say anything about it. "My dear brother, 60 million is a small amount, but 400 million is a big amount. This money doesn't just belong to the Hua family, it also belongs to the other shareholders. If you don't give us the money, once they catch you, you'll go to jail. You have to think about it, you're still young." Xian tried his best to scare Huasi, trying to break him down. Indeed, Huasi was a coward to begin with, so there was no way he would be able to withstand such threats. I was wrong. Please help me. I did spend that 60 million yuan. You should have a lot of money in the past few years. Help me make up for it, okay? I don't want to go to jail. Nonsense. What are you talking about? Xianxia's face turned green. Hua Yanyan and Huasi were the only ones who knew about Hua Mian's secret stash of money, not even Hua Zhenghai. Now that she had been exposed in public, where was she supposed to put her face? Hua Zhenghai glanced at Xianxia with a complicated expression, as if he was slightly disappointed. Don't listen to this kid, he just said the wrong thing in a hurry. I don't have any secret stash, Xianxia explained. So what about now? See, are you going to tell us where the money is, or do you want to go to jail? Huasiqian continued to make things difficult for Huasi. Hua Min watched everything calmly. She saw Hua Zhenghai's anger, Xianxia's confusion, Hua Yanyan's confusion, and Huasi's begging. She suddenly felt like the saying, every dog has its day. Back in the day, the Hua family was so arrogant. After Xianxia successfully married into the Hua family, she humiliated Hua Min's mother in front of the media many times. Also, Huasi and Hua Yanyan were born with a sense of superiority. They felt like they were priceless, while Xianxia was like dirt. Today, she was finally in such dire straits. Of course, this was all thanks to Huasiqian's good move. Hua Min's guess was right. She knew it was a trap when she nominated Huasi as the vice president during the last meeting. Hua Zhenghai thought that his little Ado could finally be given an important role. It seemed like he was getting old, and his brain wasn't as sharp as before. I didn't take 400 million, I told you. I only took 60 million. Why don't you believe me? Huasi stood up and yelled at everyone. It seemed like he was in a complete mess. Chapter 866. Son, calm down. Let's talk things out. Xianxia's heart ached. Why are you forcing me, huh? Why are you all forcing me? I didn't take that much. It's only 60 million yuan. I'm the young master of the Hua family, what's wrong with spending money? My dad used to tell me not to be so wasteful and wouldn't give me any money. Every time I hung out with my friends, they would laugh at me for being stingy. I've had enough. If you guys want to sue me, then I'll go to jail. There's no point in living like this. I'm not a man at all. I'd rather die. And you, Huasiqian, I know you don't like me. You and Hua Min both hate me and want to see me make a fool of myself. Fine, then call the police and arrest me, I don't care anymore. Really, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Huasi was so agitated that he decided to go all out. His eyes were bloodshot as he roared. Okay, since things have escalated to this point, I'll have to call the people from the prosecutor's office. Although you're my little brother, I have to do things according to the law. Then, Huasiqian picked up his phone and tried to make a call. Xianxia immediately stopped him. President Hua, don't call yet. Director Xin, please don't make things difficult for me. I'm the president of the company. I can't cover up for anyone. I have to give the company an explanation. Please don't call, I'll pay for C. Xianxia said with tears in her eyes. This is 400 million yuan, not 40 million yuan. Director Xin, are you sure? Huasiqian smiled. I'll think of a way, give me 3 days, Xianxia said with difficulty. Hua Min had never seen Xianxia like this before. It seemed like no matter how bad a woman was, she would always treat her children well. If she took out 400 million yuan now, she would be helping Huasi pay for his losses. She would also lose Hua Zhenghai's trust. After all, hiding money was taboo between husband and wife. Plus, 400 million yuan wasn't a small amount. After she took it out, she probably wouldn't have much left. Huasiqian's move was ruthless, sacrificing the rook to save the king. He used the cruelest move in Chinese chess. To make Xianxia bleed so much just to protect her son, she had also lost Hua Zhenghai's trust, which was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. His goal wasn't to put Huasi in jail. His real target was Xianxia. If that's the case, all right, I'm not an unreasonable person. I hope Director Xin can keep his word. 400 million, in 3 days. Huasiqian said slowly. I will keep my promise. Mom, where are we going to get 400 million yuan? Are you crazy? Why did you agree to his request? Hui Yanyan could no longer remain calm. She knew how much savings her mother had, so she was very anxious for her mother. It was impossible for her mother to have 400 million. Shut up. Xinjiani glanced coldly at Hui Yanyan. The way Hu Zhenghai looked at Xinjiani was filled with many emotions, most of which were disappointment and distrust. Huasi immediately calmed down when he heard that his mother would take the blame. Why did you take out 400 million yuan? I only spent 60 million. Huasi was still struggling with the amount of money. Let's talk about it when we get home. Xinjiani took a deep breath and stood up to leave. That's all for today. I'll give everyone an explanation in 3 days. Then, Huasiqian announced the end of the meeting. Hu Zhenghai, Xinjiani, Hui Yanyan, and Huasi left the company in a hurry. Huamin also walked downstairs. Mian. What is it? Huamin turned around. Are you happy today? It's okay. I knew you enjoyed watching it. What do you think of my idea? Pretty ruthless, Huamin commented. If you're not ruthless to your enemies, you're being cruel to yourself. Okay, whatever you say makes sense. Huasi took the blame beautifully. Haha, do you want to know where the remaining 300 million yuan went? I don't. TSK, you sure don't give me face. You haven't eaten yet, right? Let's go, I'll treat you to dinner to celebrate. Don't be so high profile. Aren't you afraid that they'll find out? So what if they find out? Can't we eat together? Plus, Xinjiani has to raise 400 million yuan in 3 days. It's enough for her to deal with us, she doesn't have time to deal with us. You sure know how to predict things. You knew she didn't have 400 million yuan, and you knew she would take the blame. You sure know how to trick people. So, Mian, are you complimenting me? Are you complimenting me? Or are you complimenting me? Huasiqian was in a great mood, and his gaze towards Huamin was filled with warmth. Chapter 867. Then take it as a compliment. After speaking, Huamin turned to leave. Hey, aren't you going to eat with me? I'm going home to keep my husband company. What a heartless girl. Huasiqian watched as her slim figure disappeared into the distance. One day, she would stay by his side and eat with him, right? He narrowed his eyes and thought to himself. On his way home that night, Huamin called Qin Chu and found out that he was still working overtime, so he drove straight to GK. However, to his surprise, he ran into Song Yisher at the entrance of GK. The white Audi Q5 followed behind her, and Huamin saw that she was carrying a lunchbox. Huamin, you're here? Song Yisher smiled and greeted him. Huamin nodded, then he looked at the lunchbox in her hand. She immediately understood and explained. I came over from Mama Qin's place. Mama Qin said that Qin Chu has been working overtime recently and has been working overtime, so she asked me to bring him some supper. Why are you the one bringing him supper? Oh, because I visit Mama Qin a lot. When I come back, she asked me to bring him some supper. You're not thinking too much, are you? Of course not. I mean, you're so busy, so I'm really sorry for asking you to do these things. Not at all. Mama Qin treats me like family. You don't have to be so polite. Then, the two of them chatted and laughed as they walked into GK's headquarters. Hello, a young lady. Hello, a young lady. Along the way, all the employees greeted him, and Huamin smiled and nodded in response. Song Yisher smiled and asked, do they all know you? Yeah, because I'm always here. That's good. Everyone seems to like you. Song Yisher smiled dryly. No, they don't like me. They only like me because of Qin Chu, Huamin replied generously. Song Yisher did not expect Huamin to be so direct. She was slightly stunned at first, then he smiled. That makes sense. When the two of them came in together, Qin Chu was a little surprised. Before he could speak, Huamin said, I met Miss Song at the entrance, so we came up together. Qin Chu. Mama Qin asked me to bring this to you. It's an osmanthus cake that she made herself. It's the kind that we all loved to eat when we were kids. She made it herself, Song Yisher said as she put the lunchbox on Qin Chu's desk. However, Qin Chu did not look at it. His gaze was completely focused on Huamin. Honey, have you eaten? No, I wanted to eat with you. Huamin sat down on the sofa tiredly. Come here, let me look at you. Qin Chu looked at her lovingly. Huamin slowly got up and walked over. He wrapped one arm around Huamin's waist and said, Give me 10 more minutes, then I'll take you to eat, okay? Huamin nodded obediently. Song Yisher suddenly felt very awkward standing there. I'm going to go now, you guys go back to work. Okay, bye. Huamin didn't want to pretend to ask Song Yisher to stay for dinner, because she didn't like her to begin with. So, he directly said goodbye to her. Qin Chu simply said goodbye, and Song Yisher reluctantly left. She didn't forget to remind him, Qin Chu, remember to eat Mama Qin's osmanthus cookies. She spent a lot of time making these, it's just a small token of her appreciation. Tell my mom not to make these anymore and… I haven't eaten these cookies in years, Qin Chu said word for word. What do you like to eat? I'll tell Mama Qin. It's okay, thank you for your kindness. Qin Chu directly rejected her. In the end, Song Yisher left in disappointment. The Qin clan couple was very good at torturing single people. Even Su Yu couldn't stand it, let alone Song Yisher. After she got into the car, she sat alone in the car for a long time. She was jealous of Huamin. Why was it that as long as she was around, Qin Chu would never look at anyone else? She wasn't pretty, and she wasn't very likable. After Song Yisher left, Qin Chu sat down on his lap with Huamin in his arms. Honey, I've taken care of Jixin's business. Huamin bit down on his lips. He seemed very conflicted. Chapter 868. What's wrong? Are you unhappy to hear that he's leaving? Qin Chu hugged her gently and asked. No, it's his decision, and I don't want to interfere. Where is he going and when is he leaving? New Zealand. It's a good university in Wellington, and his major is similar to his current one. The visa was approved, and he's leaving in 3 days. Already? Huamin was surprised. I called him today, and he made his decision. Okay, I understand. Then let's go to your place for dinner, and spend some time with him before he goes abroad. Okay. Huamin nodded. 10 minutes later, Qin Chu signed the rest of the documents and left with Huamin. Honey, aren't you going to eat the osmanthus cake your mom brought you? Huamin looked at the exquisite lunchbox on his desk. You like it, here you go. I don't want to eat it. Huamin immediately refused. I don't like it either, she always makes decisions for me. I've never liked it and I don't know why she thought of it. Then, Qin Chu picked up the lunchbox and the two of them walked out. Sir, you're off work? Yeah, this is for you, it's a midnight snack. Thank you, sir. Yang was full of energy after coming back from vacation. He seemed to be more motivated than before, and Qin Chu wanted to train him. He thought that Yang was smart and reliable. After leaving the company, the two of them went to Sky Blessing Court. Jixin had already dropped out of school and was packing his clothes at home. Although Yang Meirong didn't want her son to leave, she didn't stop him. She also thought that it was good for him to go out and relax. After all, he was only going to study abroad for a year or two, and it wouldn't be long. Why didn't you tell me you were coming back? I'll go make some more food. Mom, it's okay, we'll just have a bite, I'm not that hungry. Okay, I'll make some soup. Then, Yang Meirong turned around and went into the kitchen. Just then Jixin came downstairs. Sis, brother-in-law, how's the packing going? Huamin asked. We're almost done. We got everything from the school. Then, Jixin walked over to Qin Chu with a set of car keys. Brother-in-law, I'm returning this to you. Thank you for the car, but I'm not in China, so I don't need it. Keep it, I'll open it when you come back. Qin Chu said gently, this isn't a good idea. All right, don't be so courteous with your brother-in-law. You can keep the key. It's not like you're never coming back, Huamin said sadly. Okay then. Jixin nodded. After you go abroad, remember to call us. Call Mom more often. Keep in touch. I know. Remember not to walk at night and don't sleep with your friends. After all, it's overseas, Huamin reminded her patiently. Call me if you run out of money. Don't try to save money and not feed yourself well. Sis? I got it. Also, you don't have a good stomach, so don't eat too much seafood. Even though it's cheap in Australia, if you eat too much, your stomach will get sick. Remember to drink more water. I'm an adult, I'm not a kid anymore. Jing Jixin smiled. Huamin covered her mouth and began to cry. She really didn't want Jixin to leave. Honey, what are you doing? Qin Chu hugged her shoulder, heartbroken. Sis, don't be sad. I'm going to school not to suffer. I'll miss you and Mom. I'll take care of myself, so don't worry about me. Jixin's eyes turned red when he saw his sister like this. Yang Meirong, who had just walked out of the kitchen, saw this and started crying as well. Don't be like that, you too. I feel bad too. It's a good thing that he's going to school. Don't they all say that people who come back from abroad have a bright future? Why are you crying? If your Uncle Jing knew, he would be happy for Jixin, Yang Meirong said as she cried. In the end, the three of them hugged each other and cried. Qin Chu didn't know what to say. He felt bad just looking at them. Especially when Huamin was crying like this. The Hua mansion, it was already late at night, but the lights were still on. Tell me, where are you going to get 400 million in 3 days? Where are you going to get 400 million? Hua Zhenghai sat on the sofa with a teacup in his hand. He looked at Xinjiani with a serious expression on his face. Chapter 869. Zhenghai. I don't have that much, but I can't just watch my son go to jail. He's your son too. Don't change the subject. Tell me, how much money have you saved over the years? Zhenghai. Xinjiani began to act coquettishly, trying to bluff her way out of this. Answer me. I didn't do it on purpose, I just wanted to give us a way out. If something happens in the future, we won't have to live on the streets. Xinjiani explained quietly. So, how much money have you saved? Hua Si and Hua Yanyan sat on the side, not daring to make a sound. Jiang Hong had been staying at her parents' home for a while now, so it was much easier to ask questions since there were only a few people at home. Not much, only a little over 200 million. Xinjiani said quietly. Huh, only a little over 200 million. Xinjiani, I underestimated you, you're really something. Hua Zhenghai sneered. Zhenghai, it's not all cash, it's money I earned from some of my previous investments, stocks, and real estate. Not all of it belongs to our family. So, you have 200 million now, but you're still short of 100 million. What do you plan to do? Hua Zhenghai asked word for word. Zhenghai, Si is your son too? You can't just leave him in the lurch. Can you help us with the rest? Xinjiani reached out to grab Hua Zhenghai's hand, but he bounced it back. Don't even think about it. You want me to clean up after him? Why doesn't he think about me? How old is he? Did water get into his brain? How could he do something like this? Do you know how embarrassed I was at the board meeting today? Hua Zhenghai was furious. Dad? I didn't do it on purpose, I just... Shut up. I'll deal with you later. After yelling at Hua Si, Hua Zhenghai looked at Xinjiani coldly. I won't take a single cent, or else I'll let him go to jail. How could you do this? We brought this upon ourselves. We've been too lenient on him all these years, but look at what he's become. He's in his 20s, so is Su Yu from Imperial Star, and Qin Chu from GK. They're worlds apart. Right? I almost forgot about it. Zhenghai, can you talk to Huamin and ask Qin Chu to lend us 100 million yuan? Are you crazy? You want me to borrow money from them? Isn't she also your daughter? Now you know that she's my daughter. Didn't you say that she was just the child of a lowly woman, and that she might not even be my daughter? In fact, Xinjiani was the reason why Hua Zhenghai didn't acknowledge Huamin and her mother back then. He couldn't avoid her pillow talk and obstructing his plans. She was afraid that the Hua family would have one more person to split the family fortune with, but now that he was in trouble, he thought of Huamin. I was just mad at Yang Meirong. Zhenghai, you can't abandon us. You know how greedy Hua Siqian is. He's not even your biological son. Do Do you really expect him to help you manage GK? Are you okay with that? Xianxia begged with tears in her eyes. She tried to soften Hua Xinghai's heart. Even if he's not your biological son, he's still better than this wastrel. Hua Xinghai was really angry. Xinghai, if you don't help us, we'll die, Dad? I'm begging you. Please help little brother. You can't abandon us. When I get married, I'll definitely find a rich family. I'll listen to you from now on. I'll marry whoever you want me to. Hua Yanyan also knelt on the ground and begged her father. Although she was brainless, she treated her brother well and didn't want him to go to jail. Even at a time like this, you still remember that you have me as your father. What were you doing earlier? Dad? I learned my lesson this time. It's definitely Hua Xiqian who set me up. I really don't know where the 300 million yuan went. As soon as Hua Xi finished speaking, Hua Xinghai threw an ashtray at his head. Let me tell you, your stupidity lies in the fact that you were tricked and kept denying it. You didn't take precautions. Of course, with your brain, you wouldn't have been able to get away with 400 million, but you deserved it when you were accused. Dad. Hua Xi cried with snot running down his nose, not knowing what to do. Xinghai, do you think that Hua Min and Hua Xiqian teamed up to set up our C? Xianxia suddenly thought of this question. Chapter 870. Hua Xinghai's face darkened. Now's not the time to think about that, we need to figure out how to get the 400 million. Xinghai, you're not really going to help us, right? Xianxia's eyes were filled with tears. All these years, her gentleness had been like a poppy to Hua Xinghai, making him addicted. This time was no exception. Even if he was angry, Hua Xi was still his son, his only son. Hua Xinghai was silent for a while before he finally said, I can give you the money, but Xi has to step down and leave the Hua Corporation. But Xianxia was shocked. Do you even need to ask? Hua Xiqian already has his eyes on him, and he could be the scapegoat at any time. If he continues to stay, he might cause more trouble. I was wondering why he was so kind as to let Xi be the vice president. So this is what he was planning. Hua Xinghai slowly said. Xianxia seemed to have a sudden realization. If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have thought about it. So he was planning to set us up back then? Was Hua Min in cahoots with him? I don't want to think about whether or not Hua Min is in cahoots with him right now. Anyways, as the chairman, I have to give an explanation to the corporation. Give me the money, and Xi will resign and leave the company. That way we'll be safe. I'll listen to you. Hua Xi immediately nodded obediently. Now that you know how to listen to me, why didn't you do it earlier? Hua Xinghai asked in annoyance. He lowered his head and didn't dare to speak. Hua Yanyan immediately got up from the ground when she saw that her father had agreed. She immediately massaged Hua Xinghai's shoulders. Dad, I knew you wouldn't abandon us. You love me and my brother the most. Don't run around for a while. Hurry up and go on blind dates. Hurry up and get married. Hua Xiqian is fully fledged now. We're not going to be a match for them. I'm worried that we'll have to end this war as soon as possible. Xinghai, you're saying? Xianxia didn't finish her sentence. Yes. Hua Xinghai nodded but didn't finish his sentence. However, his intentions were obvious. He wanted to start a war with Hua Xiqian and kick him out of the board of directors. I'll find time to convince Hua Min. As long as we start with Yang Meirong, everything will be easy. With Qin Chu's help, things will be much easier. At this moment, Hua Xinghai was still to get something to Hua to get to the twos to Hua Min. Thus, Hua Yanyan to Hua to Hua Sayong to the surveillance camera to Hua Xiqian to the Hua to. Hijingong to Hua old man. You're getting old. You've really become muddle-headed. You still want to deal with me? You're really unrepentant. Hua Xiqian muttered to himself. You want me on to help you? You must be dreaming. He continued to smile smugly. Everyone in the Hua mansion, including Hua Xi and Hua Yanyan's phones, were secretly bugged. Hua Min was right. If someone like Hua Xiqian wanted to deal with them, it would be a piece of cake. The key was whether or not he wanted to. Just then, Mo Shui walked up from behind him in a bathrobe. Hua Xiqian didn't avoid her and continued to watch the surveillance camera. Ha! Are they still plotting against you? Isn't that one of their biggest dreams? Wuxia smiled. I'm curious, does the old man not have any feelings for you after all these years? After all, you went to the Hua family at such a young age. Emo Shui wrapped her arms around Wuxia's neck. Every time they spent the night together, she would have the illusion that he loved her. At the very least, he loved her when they were in bed. However, this feeling would gradually disappear after sex, and then she would start thinking about other things. Wuxia was like a mystery to her. She couldn't figure him out, but she could never let go of him. Originally, she decided to go to the States and never come back. However, with one phone call from him, she obediently went to GK. She did it all to fulfill Huamin's personal wish. She sacrificed her future and career just because she wanted to make Wuxia happy. He's a selfish person. Even if I stay with him for 20 years, as long as I'm not his child, he'll still kick me away. But that's good. This way I won't have any psychological burden when dealing with them. I don't want them to use their affection to disgust me. After speaking, Wuxia downed the glass of red wine in his hand. Emo Shui pressed her face tightly against Wuxia's chin, intimately rubbing against his chiseled jaw. What happens after we get rid of them? Huamin, what do you plan to do? Kick them out of the board of directors? Kick them out of the Hua corporation? Emo Shui asked quietly. Chapter 871. Wuxia reached out and unceremoniously removed Emo Shui's hands from his neck. Then he turned around and looked at her with a faint smile on his face. Shui, you seem to be very interested in Huamin. Yeah, very interested. Emo Shui smiled sweetly. Shui, you're a smart person. You've been with me for so long, you know what to do and what not to do. Don't test my limits again, and don't test me again. Also, don't harass Huamin, it won't do you any good. After speaking, Wuxia stood up and left. Xichen, I didn't mean to. I just think that how I treat her has nothing to do with you. You're not my wife. Don't be so self-righteous. Also, don't try to figure out what I'm thinking. Don't do anything that will embarrass everyone. If you're happy together, then we'll be the same as before. If you're bored, then you can find someone else, and everyone will be okay with it. After speaking, Wuxia slammed his wine glass on the wine cabinet in the study with a loud clang. It was obvious that he wasn't happy with Emo Shui. Emo Shui was a little scared of Wuxia. The truth was, everyone thought that Wuxia was always smiling and had a good temper. He treated his employees well at GK and rarely got angry. However, only Emo Shui knew the truth. Wuxia's temper was extremely bad. It was only because he was able to tolerate it that most people didn't know about this side of him. Ever since Huamin found out that Jixin was leaving, he had been in a bad mood. Even at work, he was in a daze. Huamin, are you okay? Director Li asked. I'm fine. You don't look well. Have you been sleeping well? Director Li asked with concern. Ever since Huamin came to the neurology department, she felt a lot more relaxed. This was because when she was in meetings, Huamin could handle most of the work in the department. Director Li really liked Huamin. This kind old lady really liked this talented and hardworking girl. It was as if she was looking at her younger self. Yeah, something happened at home recently, so I'm not in a good mood. Then do you want to take a few days off? There's no need. Our department has been busy recently. I won't be taking a break. Ever since he went to the Maldives and rested for almost a week, Huamin was too embarrassed to ask for leave from Director Li or President Wu. She felt that it was inappropriate for her to go out and play when everyone was busy. Things were different now. She used to be a nurse, and her job responsibilities were not so heavy. Now, he had to be responsible for the patients and his colleagues. He could not just think about his own happiness. Most of the old employees at Southside knew that although Huamin had married into a rich family, she still maintained the style of an ordinary person. She kept a low profile, wasn't ostentatious, wasn't boastful, and had contributed a lot to the South District. Most people liked her. All right, if there's anything, just tell me. I'll arrange for someone else to take your place. Thank you, Director. After a whole morning of seeing patients, Huamin listlessly prepared to go to the cafeteria for lunch. However, she ran into Xie Wan at the entrance of the restaurant. Dr. Hua. Sister Xie, I haven't eaten yet either. Let's talk while we eat. Huamin nodded. The two of them ordered food and sat in a corner of the cafeteria. How has Shui Shui been these days? Pretty good. Director Qi said he's recovering well. He's also very energetic. Will be discharged in 3 or 4 days. Okay, I've found a new house for you. Don't go back to your old place. It's not safe for you and Shui Shui. Plus, he's just recovered. It's dark and damp there, not suitable for recuperation. I've rented a small, 2-bedroom, 60-square-meter house for you in the new northern city. It's very close to the 14th school. Dr. Hua, I don't want to say too much about your kindness. I'll say it again, I can't repay your kindness. I'll remember all the good you've done for me and my son. I came today to tell you that I've thought about it. I plan to donate my liver to an Yang. Huamin's eyes were filled with pleasant surprise. Sister Xie, you've thought about it? Yes, I've thought about it, but I have a request. What is it? Huamin thought she would ask for money or something like that. After all, their lives were not guaranteed right now. Chapter 872. You can't tell an Yang that I'm donating my liver. Why not? Huamin thought that if she told Yang about Mrs. Xie's liver donation, maybe he would be touched and the mother and son would be able to forgive each other. However, Xie Wan suddenly told her not to tell Yang. She didn't understand what was going on. Because I feel like I owe him too much. I don't want him to forgive me just because of this. I feel like I haven't done enough as a mother. You're right, I was too selfish in the past. We're both my sons, so why did I only love Shui Shui? It's not fair to Yang. I was so ignorant, asking him for money and hurting him. I'm partly responsible for his illness. Miss Xie, don't blame me. I was really angry at the time. And Yang is a good kid, and so is Shui Shui. I really hope that you guys can be happy and talk things out as a family. I understand what you mean. As an outsider, not only did you help us with the money to treat his illness, but you also want to help us reconcile. I'm very happy about this, so I thought about it for a long time. I decided to donate my liver to him and cure his illness. Then, I'll slowly make up for everything. Okay, I understand. I respect your decision. Huamin was very happy that Xie Wan was willing to help Yang. To be honest, she didn't have much confidence in the beginning and was afraid that Xie Wan would refuse. After all, humans were selfish creatures. It was indeed difficult for her to use her liver to help a son that she hadn't spoken to in years. Fortunately, she agreed in the end. Then you should go for a checkup in the afternoon when you have time. Do all the pre-surgery checkups. Yang is already hospitalized in the VIP room on the top floor. Xie Wan nodded. Qin Manor, Qin Yumin was worried about Lady Qin's foot injury, so he flew back from Hawaii. When he got home that night, he saw Song Yisher, whom he hadn't seen in a long time. Mr. Qin. She smiled. Yisher. Qin Yumin asked uncertainly. It's me, Mr. Qin. Why didn't you call me when you came back? Song Yisher makes dumplings with the maids of the Qin family. Her hands are full of white flour. Ever since she returned to China, she hardly went home. During the day, she spent most of her time with Lady Qin, playing golf, shopping, playing mahjong, drinking tea, arranging flowers, and so on. Fortunately, Song Yisher had a good temper and didn't get tired of Lady Qin's nagging. It's okay. I have a company driver to pick me up. Where is she? Mama Qin is doing a facial mask upstairs. She'll be down soon. When did you come back? I saw you last time when I went to Italy with your father. It's been 5 or 6 years, right? Qin Yumin sighed. I was only in my early 20s back then. I was still young. Time flies, but you're still so young. You're just as handsome as before. Song Yisher smiled cutely. You little girl, you only know how to make me happy. Qin Yumin laughed heartily. Mama Qin has been talking about you. If she knew that you were back, she would be so happy. Song Yisher said with a smile. Just as she finished speaking, Lady Qin came downstairs in her nightgown. Oh, let me see who's back. Sir, did you come to the wrong place? Is this your home? Lady Qin said sourly. We're so old, is it fun to argue? Qin Yumin said helplessly. Chapter 873. It's fun. Aren't you very capable? Didn't you say you didn't want to stay with me and went to look for your cousins? What? They can't tolerate you anymore, so you want to go home. I can't handle your mouth. Qin Yumin felt like his wife's sharp tongue had hurt a lot of people. I'm always like this, it's not like you just met me. What a joke, why are you pretending to be a gentleman with me? Seeing their unhappy conversation, Song Yisher immediately laughed and said, Mama Qin, Mr. Qin, you can wash your hands and eat now. Sister Lan and I made shrimp dumplings, they're delicious. Yisher, you're the best. Mama Qin smiled like a blooming flower, then walked over while swaying her hips. Qin Yumin didn't say anything else, and after the maid put the luggage upstairs, the three of them sat down in the dining room. Yisher, you're not going back to China this time, right? Qin Yumin asked. Yeah, I'm not going back. Have you thought about what you want to do? Do you want to come to GK? Qin Yumin was very close with Mayor Song, so he was very polite to Song Yisher. That's a good idea, you can help Chu at the company, Lady Qin chimed in. Mr. Qin, Mama Qin, thank you for your kindness. But I can't. I'm not studying finance, I'm just an artist, so I can't help him. I'm planning to open a high-end art school and take in more children to teach them how to draw. It's a way to pass the time. Xianxia is such a caring child. Lady Qin loved Song Yisher so much that she almost went crazy. No matter what she said, Lady Song would agree. Qin Yumin also nodded. That's good after all, you've been learning how to draw for so many years. Your father will be happy for you. Yes, my daddy is very supportive of my opinion. These few days, he even helped me find a place to rent it. Huh? Xianxia, have you called Chu? Can you ask him if he's coming back for dinner? I don't think so, he usually has dinner with Huamin. Ever since Song Yisher had awkwardly bumped into Huamin while delivering supper, she seemed to have some ill feelings towards him. He did not dare to take the initiative to look for Qin Chu, because she realized that Huamin was very powerful. What are you afraid of? Well, as long as Huamin was here, Huamin would be the heavens. Was she the sun? Everyone is circling around her. Take out your phone and take it. Just say that you're back. Our son will definitely be back. Lady Qin said domineeringly as she pointed at Qin Yumin. I'm a little tired. I'll call them back another day. No, call them now. Also, don't let Huamin see them. Seeing them makes me annoyed. Ever since she fell down at Huamin's house, Lady Qin disliked Huamin even more. It was as if they were mortal enemies, a thorn in her side. What you're doing is making things difficult for our son. Isn't my son making things difficult for me? He knows that I don't like that girl, but he still married her to piss me off. Didn't you know? This time I got injured because of her family. Luckily I have good stamina, or else they would have killed me. You don't know how evil Huamin is. When he saw me fall, not only did he not help me, he even gloated. Luckily, Xianxia arrived in time and drove me to the hospital. I'll hate that little bitch for the rest of my life. Mrs. Qin continued to blabber on and on. I'm full, you guys eat. Xianxia, I'm going upstairs. You don't want to listen to your son? Who do you think you are? Lady Qin didn't seem to want to let it go. Qin Yumin ignored her and got up to go upstairs. Clearly, he didn't want to listen to her nagging. Mama Qin. Forget it, Dad just got off a long-distance flight. He must be tired. Let him rest first. It won't hurt to have dinner with Qin Chu for a day or two. Fine, since you said so, I'll do you a favor, Lady Qin said pretentiously. Sure, your parents didn't set you up on blind dates or anything, right? No, I don't really want to find one myself. I'm not in a hurry. Song Yisher smiled embarrassedly. Upon seeing this, Lady Qin immediately grabbed her hand and asked, Sure, if Chu gets divorced, will you marry him? Song Yisher was slightly surprised. Chapter 874. Mama Qin, what are you talking about? Don't joke around. How could Qin Chu get a divorce? He loves Huamin so much. Song Yisher smiled bitterly. Nothing is impossible. Let me tell you, men are all the same. Once you get your hands on someone, you'll get tired of them. There's no cat that doesn't cheat. My son won't be attracted to Huamin for long. Once there's a misunderstanding, there'll be a rift. I don't think they'll get a divorce. I think they'll get a divorce sooner or later. I really like you. I really hope you're my daughter-in-law. Mama Qin. I don't think I'm that lucky. Chu doesn't seem to like me. Who said that? He liked you so much when he was young. The year you lived with us, the two of you played so well. Lady Qin always tried to talk about things that happened when they were young. The truth was, when Song Yisher was young, Qin Chu didn't have much interaction with her. Qin Chu was introverted and didn't like to talk when he was young, so he didn't have any feelings for Song Yisher. At that time, he was still living alone in a lonely world. It wasn't until the first year of high school that he met a girl that lit up his entire world. However, women were always blind when it came to relationships. Even Song Yisher couldn't resist the temptation. Although she kept rejecting Lady Qin verbally, she was actually quite happy when she heard what Lady Qin said. If Qin Chu could really get a divorce, it would be a good thing for her, right? After Jiang Xiaowei got pregnant, the Wei family was overjoyed and began to prepare for their wedding. The wedding was set for the 1st of January, New Year's Day, and there were 500 tables. The Wei family had been in Sea City for many years. They were well known and influential, and they also had many branches. They had many rich allies, so when the news of the wedding was released, it immediately dominated the entertainment headlines. For a few days, there were news reports, so Jiang Xiaowei didn't dare to leave the house. Other than going to work during the day, Wei Liao rarely went out at night. Most of the time, he stayed at home with Jiang Xiaowei. Tang Chuan was not very reliable. Sometimes he went abroad to play, and sometimes he stayed at home to pick up girls. All of a sudden, Su Yu was all alone. He felt as if all his friends had left him. Therefore, after he finished his work during the day, he began to return to the Su family more often. On this day, after returning to the Su family for dinner, only Mrs. Su and Lord Su were there. You, Grandpa? What is it? One of Grandpa's former comrades wants to come here with her granddaughter to play. Are you going to spend a day with us? I don't like to socialize. Su Yu directly refused. This isn't a social gathering. We're just friends catching up. Then Grandpa can just ask your adjutant to do it. Once you give the order, everything in the army will be done for you. No, it's rare for Grandpa to take a vacation, and I don't want to have anything to do with the army. It's a private gathering. How about this? You pick her up from the airport in the morning and bring her home. We'll eat together, and in the afternoon, you can take us around. Don't you have a resort in the west, at Beauty Lake? We can go there to fish and eat some barbecue or something. The old man seemed to be very interested. Since Grandpa has already said so, don't refuse, Mrs. Su said with a smile. This? Su Yu really didn't want to, but he didn't want to spoil his grandpa's mood. In the end, he could only nod. Okay, then it's settled. I'll give you the flight number and the name of the person later. Don't forget. Got it. Su Yu was depressed. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come back for dinner today. Who knew that his old man was so good at causing trouble? After dinner, Lady Su mysteriously pulled her son to the side. Your grandpa really put a lot of thought into this. Do you know why his old comrade brought his granddaughter here? Is he going to introduce her to me? That's right. Su Yu, Mom? I don't like blind dates. This isn't a blind date. What if she's to your liking? No, Mom. Even if she looks like Chong, I don't want her, Su Yu said firmly. Is it because of that girl from the Hua family? Lady Su looked at her son meaningfully and asked. Chapter 875. Mom, you don't tell the truth. Sai, what should I say about you? Everyone outside says that our little ancestor of the Su family is a playboy. You have a lot of girlfriends and scandals. Actually, Mom knows that you're just putting on a show. You've been stubborn since you were young. If you like something, you'll go for it. That's a good thing you're loyal, but it's also a scam. Son, we can't covet something that doesn't belong to us. We have to have a bottom line. Mom, I didn't cause her any trouble. I didn't know that she was married before, so I confessed to her rashly once and was rejected. After that, I didn't say it again. Actually, my request is very simple now. I just want to see her occasionally. I don't want anything. You don't have to worry about me bringing shame to the Su family. That's good. Hearing her son say this, Lady Su's expressions softened a little. The next morning, at 6 a.m, Su Yu woke up and followed the driver to the airport in the Bentley. At the VIP exit, a thin old man and a young girl in her early 20s walked out. The old man was wearing a gray Chinese tunic suit. He looked very authentic and serious. The young girl was very lively. She was wearing a small leather jacket, a short skirt, black stockings, and long boots. She was very fashionable and had a head of curly hair. She looked very sweet, like a doll. Su Yu walked up to the old man. Are you Grandpa Su? Yes, I'm Su Qiushan, the old man said with a serious face. Hello, Grandpa Su, I'm Su Yu. You're the grandson of the old class president, right? You're really talented. Not bad, not bad. The old man praised Su Yu endlessly. The young girl behind him immediately interrupted. You're Su Yu. I know you. I heard that you've been dating Jian Tong recently. Is that right? The young girl smiled in a gossipy manner. The old man turned around. Min, don't be rude. This is my granddaughter, Su Jimin, the old man introduced. Su Yu nodded slightly. Then, he got into the car with the two of them and drove all the way to the Su family. On the way, the girl kept talking to Su Yu in the back seat. I heard that Mian under your company is being kept by a local young master. Is that true? Su Yu, is it true between you and Jian Tong? Or is this a publicity stunt? Are you having an affair with Annie Liang? Did you break Annie Liang because you were with Jian Tong? Is that why she signed with GK to make things difficult for you? Also, why is your singing so good? I saw the live broadcast of GK's 30th anniversary on TV. The song you sang, just once, was for a girl, right? Is it Jian Tong? Su Yu, this little girl's mouth was like a cannonball. She kept asking questions, which made Su Yu completely confused. Your questions are sharper than a reporter's. How am I supposed to answer them? Su Yu looked helpless. It doesn't matter. You can answer them one by one. Su Yu, Jimin, don't be rude. The old man also had a headache. It really wasn't a wise decision to bring this gossipy granddaughter out to play. At the Su family mansion, the two old men hit it off immediately and were very close. Only then did Su Yu find out that his grandfather was the squad leader of the army during the War of Resistance. This old man was his old comrade who had gone through fire and water with him. He was a year older than his grandfather, but he respected his grandfather very much. He was also the head of a military region in the south, and his status was second only to his grandfather. He had many children, and they were all in the army. His family had a lot of background. And because Su Jimin was the youngest daughter of his youngest son, she was the apple of the family's eye. Perhaps it was because everyone spoiled her that she didn't know what to say. You, take Minra out for a walk. Young people have more common topics to talk about. Master Lord Su took the initiative to speak. Although Su Yu didn't want to, he still nodded. Let's go. He turned around and walked out of the mansion, and Su Jimin followed. Su, take me to Imperial Star. I really like Jian Tong. She's my favorite actress. I don't like Zhao Qingya. Although she's pretty, I feel like she's fake. Oh right, the internet said that she went abroad to further her studies and quit the entertainment industry. Is that true? Why is there no news about her at all? Chapter 876. Don't ask about this, it has nothing to do with you. Su Yu didn't seem to want to talk to the little girl. Are you afraid that I'll tell others? I won't, don't worry, I'm a very principled person. The little girl said confidently, How old are you? Su Yu had a cigarette in his mouth as he glanced at Su Jimin. The little girl raised 2 fingers. I'm 20. Then why aren't you in school? What are you doing out here? It's so cold in the north. I'm studying in Singapore. There are a lot of vacations there, so I come back often. I'm in the south and rarely see snow. Sometimes it snows, and it melts before it hits the ground. My grandpa said that the winter here lasts 5 months, and it snows a lot. I want to see it. What's there to see? It's boring. Su Yu leaned on his Lamborghini, not knowing what to say to her. They had nothing in common. Can you take me to Imperial Star? I heard that you're the biggest boss of Imperial Star, and all the celebrities listen to you. The little girl was obviously a groupie. You won't see any celebrities at this time. They're all acting or filming. Why would they go to the company? Really? Then what do you have here? Can you take me out? Or do you have something good to eat? The little girl looked excited. Su Yu woke up too early in the morning, so he didn't have much energy. We'll have breakfast soon, don't run around. No, I want to go out and eat. I want to experience the culture here. The little girl insisted, and Su Yu's head hurt from all the noise. He drove his Lamborghini and took her out. In the end, they went to Aoxian's ramen at the back door of Second High. This ramen is good, right? Su Jimin asked as she looked at the small sign. It's okay. Su Yu said perfunctorily and walked in first. Boss, 2 bowls of noodles, 1 big and 1 small, Su Yu said. No, boss, 2 big bowls, thank you. You can eat that much? Su Yu looked at the little girl in disbelief. If I can't finish it, I can give you the rest. Su Yu. He felt as if he had been struck by lightning. It was too shocking. If she couldn't finish it, she would give it to him? Did he think he was a trash can? I won't eat your leftovers. You have to be clear about this, Su Yu warned seriously. Why are you so nervous? I'm just teasing you. I can eat a lot. A big bowl is no problem. Then, the 2 of them sat at the dining table. It just so happened that it was time for school in the morning. Many students were walking in through the back door of Second High School. Su Yu was a little stunned as he watched. If he had studied here all those years ago, would he have also been attracted to Huamin? Seeing how engrossed he was, Su Jimin suddenly asked, Do you like high school students? Su Yu looked at her helplessly. You're thinking too much, that's not right. You chose to eat here because there's a story here. Tell me, did your ex-girlfriend like this place? Su Yu denied it directly. Then the girl you like likes to eat the noodles here. Su Yu, see. I guessed right? The tomboy you like graduated from this school, right? Su Jimin suddenly asked. How did you know? Just by looking at you. You brought me to eat noodles near the school so early in the morning. I didn't just think that this place was delicious. I knew that you liked it here. But Grandpa said that you joined the army at a young age, so you probably didn't go to high school. So, I guess that the girl you like probably graduated from here. Okay. Su Yu sighed slightly and didn't say anything else. The person you like isn't Jian Tong, right? Su Jimin asked again. Why do you have so many questions? Do you think I have 100,000 whys? Su Yu was a little impatient. I'm just asking. What's wrong? The girl looked wronged. Then she noticed that the look in Su Yu's eyes changed. He was staring at the door, his eyes unmoving. She turned around and saw an Audi R8 slowly stop in front of the ramen restaurant. A girl with delicate features got out of the car. She was wearing jeans, heels, and a short black trench coat. Chapter 877. Boss, a small bowl of ramen please, Huamin said as he walked in. Okay. Huamin saw Su Yu as soon as she walked in. She nodded and greeted him. Then, she sat down at the table next to him. She originally planned to eat with Qin Chu in the morning, but Qin Chu received a call and rushed to the construction site to deal with work. She drove here herself and planned to go to work after eating. However, she didn't expect to see Su Yu here so early in the morning, with a girl beside him. Ever since Huamin came in, Su Yu's gaze changed. It can't be that dramatic, right? Is it her? Su Jimin asked. Just then, the boss brought their noodles to the table. Su Yu pushed a bowl in front of her and said bluntly, "Don't talk, eat your noodles." Su Jimin pouted and didn't say anything else. The two ate their noodles in silence. Huamin hadn't been in a good mood lately. Because tomorrow morning, Jixin would fly to Jing City at 3 a.m. and then transfer to New Zealand. This trip was thousands of miles away, and she didn't know when he would come back. While eating, Huamin was a little absent-minded and looked a little lonely. Although Su Yu was focused on eating his noodles, he couldn't help but look up at her. He waited until Huamian finished a bowl of noodles and left. Su Yu couldn't help but walk up to her. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." "You don't look well." "Oh, maybe it's because I've been busy with work," Huamin said faintly. "Then take care of yourself." "Okay." Huamin nodded. "Huamin," he said again. "Yeah. It's my birthday next Friday, and there's going to be a cocktail party at my private mansion at 6 p.m. Can you come?" Su Yu hesitated for a long time, but he still wanted to invite Huamin. He felt that if he could see her on his birthday, he would be very happy. "I'll see." Huamin didn't directly refuse, but she didn't agree either. She watched the Audi R8 drive away. Only then did Su Yu come back to his senses and sit down to eat his noodles. "She's the girl you like, right?" "It's none of your business," Su Yu asked impolitely. "Am I curious?" "Shut up and eat your noodles," Su Yu said fiercely. Su Jimin didn't say anything. When the two of them returned to the Su family's villa, it was almost noon. Su Yu took her for a walk outside before returning to the mansion. Grandpa Su seemed very enthusiastic. "Jimin, how's my Yu doing?" "He's an egomaniac, and he has a quick temper. He's always so fierce," Su Jimin commented sincerely. When the two old men heard this, they laughed out loud at the girl's honesty. "No, he's good. At least he's sincere. I don't like guys who are too fake and hypocritical," the girl added. "Would you be willing to be my granddaughter-in-law?" Master Lord Su was very straightforward. "Grandpa." Su Yu didn't seem happy with his grandpa's joke. "Forget it." Master Lord Su, "Oh no." "What? You don't like you?" Master Lord Su asked. "No, he's much older than me. I don't want to find someone so old. I like young men. I like an I young. An I young." This time, the two old men were confused. "When did you have a boyfriend? How come I didn't know?" Grandpa Su asked with a serious face. Su Yu helplessly explained for her, "The N.I. Yang she's talking about is a celebrity." Only then did the two old men realize. Master Lord Su wanted to matchmake Su Jimin and Su Yu. Although they were 7 or 8 years apart, their family backgrounds were similar. The two old men agreed, but unfortunately, the two children didn't seem to think so. Su Jimin seemed to have a good impression of Su Yu, but when she saw how gentle he was to that girl when they were eating ramen, she gave up. She felt like giving up. Su Jimin knew very well that it was very tiring to like a man who had someone else in his heart. GK headquarters. When Qin Chu finished his work and returned to the company, it was already 10 in the morning. After the meeting, he was about to go out for lunch when he saw Song Yisher. "You were looking for me?" Qin Chu asked her. "Yeah, do you mind having lunch with me?" Song Yisher smiled and invited him. Her questions were always so tactful. If Qin Chu said that he minded, he would seem too petty. If he didn't mind, he would have to have lunch with her. Chapter 878. "Let's go, I'm going downstairs too." Qin Chu didn't refuse and went downstairs with Song Yisher, at a Western restaurant downstairs. The two of them ordered a steak set. Then, Song Yisher took out a blueprint and handed it to Qin Chu. "What's this?" "I'm planning to open an art school, right? So, when I was looking for a location, I saw this. It's a store in a new building under your company. This 7-story building is empty and hasn't been rented out yet. It's in a good location, so I wanted to ask if you could rent it to me. You want to open a school?" "Yeah. I've been back for so many days, I can't always rely on my parents. I've been studying art for so many years, and to be honest, I wanted to open a studio. But, you know, there aren't many people here, so there won't be much business. So, I decided to go all the way and open a school. I can even teach kids. It's pretty good." Oh. Qin Chu nodded faintly. Can you rent it to me? I'll pay you the rent. Song Yisher smiled. You can use it, we're planning to rent it out. As for the rent, you can pay me normally. You can talk to the administrative department about the contract, I don't usually care about these things. Okay, thank you. Song Yisher nodded in thanks. Qin Chu lowered his head and sent a WeChat message to Huamin. He looked very focused, he completely forgot about Song Yisher, who was sitting across from him. She felt a little awkward sitting across from him. So, just as Qin Chu and Huamin were talking, she suddenly said on purpose, Chu, Mr. Qin is back. He wants you to come home for dinner tonight. Huamin happened to hear this. She sent a WeChat message to Qin Chu and typed, Is Song Yisher with you? Yeah, she came to find me. She wants to rent an apartment under the company. Why do you have to ask about something like this? Isn't that the administrative department's business? Huamin was unhappy. I don't know. Let's see how I torture you when we get home. Honey, I'm innocent. Did I say anything about you? Why are you crying injustice? Huamin replied domineeringly. Qin Chu was speechless. Qin Chu, Qin Chu? Seeing that Qin Chu didn't respond to her, Song Yisher shouted again. Qin Chu finally looked up. Papa Qin is back. Got it? I'll contact him later. Oh, okay. Song Yisher nodded. After the meal, Qin Chu paid the bill and went back to the company. Song Yisher drove to have afternoon tea with a few socialites. However, he did not expect to meet Hua Xiqian here. Hi, Miss Song, Hua Xiqian greeted her. Hua Xiao. The socialites greeted him as well. Hua Xiqian was very popular in the circle. Both men and women liked him. Other than Su Yu and Qin Chu, young Master Hua, Song Yisher greeted him as well. I haven't seen you in a few days. You've gotten prettier. Thank you. Song Yisher smiled elegantly. Are you free tonight? I made a reservation at Phoenix Terrace. Do me the honor of joining us for dinner? Hua Xiqian invited her. I'm sorry, but I have plans tonight. Oh, I see. Okay then, another day. Enjoy my treat. Hua Xiqian paid the bill like a gentleman and left the restaurant. After he left, the socialites immediately gossiped. Is Hua Xiqian pursuing you, Sure? Yeah? Hua Xiao likes pretty girls. You're so pretty, of course he's interested in you. He even danced with you at your party the other day. I also heard that he hasn't had a girlfriend since he broke up with Mo Shui. Maybe he wants to pursue you, Sure. You guys are overthinking it. I don't think he's interested in me. Song Yisher smiled. Chapter 879. No way, we can all tell, a socialite said. No way, it's obvious. He wanted to treat you to dinner and dance with you. What man would do that for no reason? Not necessarily. I heard that the Hua Corporation is in the running for a piece of land. Maybe he wants to use me to get my dad's recognition, Song Yisher said slowly as she took a sip of coffee. Hey, you're right. Song Yisher would never think that a man was nice to her because he liked her. Although she thought she was beautiful and charming, it depended on what kind of man he was with. Hua Xiqian was a playboy, but he wasn't infatuated with her. She would rather believe that Hua Xiqian got close to her for a reason. When Huamin got off work, he went straight back to Sky Blessing Court. Qin Chu called her, but she didn't pick up. When Qin Chu got home, he saw that no one was home and guessed that she was at Sky Blessing Court. So, he drove to Sky Blessing Court. Yang Meirong made a lot of dishes. Because Jixin was leaving tomorrow, everyone was sad to see him leave. This time, Qin Chu was the one who found Jixin's school, tuition, and residence. For Jixin's sake, he did everything himself and picked the most suitable university out of the 10. Brother-in-law, you're here. Is your sister here? Yeah, she just got back. She's in the kitchen with my mom. Qin Chu walked in, took out 2 cards from his pocket, and handed them to Jixin. One is a SIM card that allows you to make international calls. When you get there, just change the SIM card. The other one is a UnionPay card that can be used all over the world. You can use it when you're overseas. There's 1 million in it. You can use it now, and the finance department will transfer it to you every month. Don't feel burdened, just spend it however you want. Brother-in-law, I know you're super rich, but you're too stubborn. How can I spend 1 million and transfer it to me every month? No, it's too much. Take it. If you can't spend it all, bring it back to me. Jixin knew Qin Chu. He didn't say much, but he always expressed himself with his actions. Once he gave you something, you had to take it. That was his way of doing things. My sister gave me money, brother-in-law. Your sister gave you money, and this is mine. Take it. There's no harm in having more money. I know you won't flaunt your wealth, so you won't get into trouble. Qin Chu. Thank you, brother-in-law. Jixin carefully put away the 2 cards. Then she looked at Qin Chu and said, Brother-in-law, I don't know how long it'll be before I come back. It's a long journey, so if there's nothing else, I won't go back and forth. My mom is fine. She often goes out with those aunties, but my sister is a workaholic. She only listens to you, so you have to take good care of her. Also, hurry up and have a baby. I really want to be an uncle, Jixin reminded them. Qin Chu nodded in agreement. Just then, Huamin walked out of the kitchen and placed a dish on the dining table. He glanced at Qin Chu and asked, President Qin, what did you have for lunch today? Steak. Wow, not bad. Did you have red wine? Wait, you had steak and a beautiful woman. Why didn't you have red wine? Huamin said sourly. He thought that she was jealous because she overheard Song Yishi's conversation on WeChat. Then he said, Honey, let's talk about private things at home. Don't talk about it here. This is my home too. Why can't we talk about it? Also, I'm not going back tonight. I want to stay here. Okay, I'll stay here too. Why should you stay here? This is my home. Sis, brother-in-law bought this house. Jixin reminded her. Shut up. Are you my brother or his brother? Huamin deliberately scolded Jixin. Jixin, honey, you're right. Everything you say is right. Qin Chu's attitude was good. Don't give me that. Are you trying to bluff your way out of this? Nope. Anyway, I'm not going back. Jixin's leaving tomorrow, so I'll move back here for a while. You can reflect on yourself. Honey, stop it. Qin Chu's heart couldn't take it anymore when he heard that Huamin was moving back to her parents' home. I'm not, Huamin replied angrily. I just promised Jixin that we'll have a baby. If you move away, how am I going to fulfill his wish? Qin Chu smirked. Chapter 880. So you married me because you wanted a baby? Huamin asked, pretending to be angry. Before Qin Chu could say anything, Jixin spoke up for his brother-in-law. Sis, you're so unreasonable. Brother-in-law is already like that, and you're still trying to be unreasonable. Don't say anything, let him speak. Huamin looked at Qin Chu fiercely. Honey. Qin Chu looked like he had been wronged. The more he said, the more mistakes he would make. What if he really got into trouble and they separated? Just then, Yang Meirong walked out. Dinner's ready. Thank you for your hard work, Auntie. Qin Chu respected Yang Meirong very much. Even though she had a bad temper and was prejudiced against him, Qin Chu still wanted to thank her for raising Huamin for more than 20 years. It's nothing. Don't be so polite with me. Hurry up and eat. Yang Meirong brought out the dishes one by one, and the 4 of them sat around the table. It's all thanks to Qin Chu that Jixin went abroad this time. Auntie, it's my duty. What's your duty? No one should do anything for anyone. Even if we're family, we have to be considerate. The house we live in is all thanks to you. I only have 2 wishes for the rest of my life. One is for Mian to be happy, and the other is for Jixin to live a carefree life. As long as you guys live well, I won't have to worry about you, Yang Meirong said as she ate. Don't worry, Mom. We're not kids anymore. Huamin smiled. Jixin, be a good boy when you're there. Don't get into trouble. Mom, I don't get into trouble in China. Don't worry. If something happens, I'll call brother-in-law. Qin Chu nodded. Huamin looked at Jixin and realized that Jixin really liked Qin Chu. It was no wonder, other than Huamin, Qin Chu treated Jixin the best. He had already mentioned changing cars twice. Luckily Huamin stopped him. Otherwise, Jixin would probably be driving a Porsche by now. After dinner, Huamin dilly-dallied and refused to leave. Qin Chu was not in a hurry. He drank tea in the living room and waited for her. In the end, Yang Merong couldn't take it anymore. Hurry up and leave. Look at the time. Your brother's flight is at 3 o'clock. Qin Chu already arranged for a driver to send him. What are you still doing here? I'll stay a little longer. What are you waiting for? Both of you have to go to work tomorrow. Go home and sleep. Your brother is going to school, not to suffer. Before Huamin could say anything, Yang Merong pushed and shoved Huamin out. Then, she quietly got into the car with Qin Chu. After getting into the car, Huamin's face was still gloomy. She was in a bad mood. Honey, don't be sad. Seeing Huamin's gloomy face, Qin Chu's heart ached. Huamin was no longer mad at Qin Chu. After all, Huamin didn't care about Song Yisher at all. She leaned into Qin Chu's arms and said in a small voice, Honey, I still don't want to leave Jixin. What should I do? Huamin was already used to being an older sister. Over the years, she would rather live frugally to take care of her brother. Occasionally chatting with Jixin on WeChat and eating had become a part of her life. She never thought that one day he would leave this city and go to a place so far away. Therefore, she still couldn't accept it, just like how she couldn't accept Huang Yu's death. Life is a process of constant parting and reunions. No one is immune, everyone is the same. Qin Chu gently hugged Huamin and comforted her softly, I know, I'm just a little sad. In the end, Huamin cried in his arms for a while before the two reluctantly drove away. Huamin didn't sleep much that night. She tossed and turned, thinking about Jixin the entire time. At 3 in the morning, she got up and looked at the time on her phone. Then she went downstairs to get some water. She looked at the dark sky outside the window and thought about how her brother was already on a plane to New Zealand, across the ocean. I hope you'll be all grown up when you come back, Huamin murmured quietly. 3 days later, Huamin went to the second board meeting of the Hu Corporation during his break. Shen Jiani looked at the transfer records and saw that 400 million yuan had been transferred to the corporation's account. All of the board members seemed to be relieved. Then, to no one's surprise, Huasi resigned. As a father, Hu Zhenghai apologized to the board members for not teaching his son well and put on a good show. After the board meeting ended, Huasi Qian stopped Huamin. What? Aren't you curious about what I'm going to do next? That's your problem, what does it have to do with me? Huamin never thought that he was on the same side as Huasi Qian. Chapter 881. No, it has something to do with you. Come back tonight, and I'll show you the best show ever. Tonight? Huamin was a bit surprised. Wasn't this too soon? You're making a move tonight? Huamin asked uncertainly. Yeah, that's the only way to catch them off guard. Huasi Qian smiled. Shen Jiani barely managed to block the 400 million yuan, and Huasi Qian was going to attack again. He was indeed aggressive. This time, you'll make sure that they can't turn the tables. With Huamin's understanding of Huasi Qian, he knew that Huasi Qian had already done enough foreplay. If he made a move now, it would be fatal. As expected, he dotingly flicked Huamin's forehead. He didn't use much strength. You're the smartest, you have to come back to witness such an exciting moment, or else, all my planning will be in vain. My mom will be back tonight at 6:30 p.m., and the whole family will be there. You have to come. After speaking, Huasi Qian put his hands in his pockets and left. Huamin looked at him with a complicated expression. Huasi Qian was usually smiling and seemed easy to get along with. But in reality, Huamin thought that Huasi Qian was too smart and didn't care about anyone. He was full of tricks. Unfortunately, she didn't see the person in his heart. If she knew now, she would probably, Mian. Just as Huamin was about to leave the company, Hu Zhenghai suddenly called out from behind. Huamin turned around and saw that he was alone. Shen Jiani wasn't with him. What's up? You should rest today. Have some tea with Dad, I haven't talked to you alone in a while. I don't think we have anything to talk about. Huamin's attitude wasn't friendly. Hua Jinghai didn't get angry. Instead, he smiled and said, "Don't be so distant. Although the Hua family isn't as powerful as the Qin family, we'll still help them if they're in trouble. After all, we're in-laws now." Hua Jinghai always brought up the marriage between the Qin and Hua families, which really annoyed Huamian. Huamin wanted to refuse, but Hua Jinghai continued, "How's your mom doing? I went to the old house to visit her, but it was empty. Did she move away?" "Yeah, isn't there going to be a demolition? I bought her a new house." "Really? Where is the new house?" "You don't need to know about this. My mother, she doesn't seem to want to see you," Huamin said straightforwardly. Hua Jinghai smiled awkwardly. "She still hates me, I know. I already said that I would slowly make it up to you and your mother. All right, I heard that your brother went abroad. Is there anything I can help you with? I have quite a few friends in Australia." "No, thank you for your kindness. Are you sure you don't want to have tea with me?" Hua Jinghai asked again. "Mr. Hua, I don't like to beat around the bush. If you have something to say, just say it. There's no need to drink tea or eat, just get to the point. We're all busy." "Okay, if that's the case, then I'll get straight to the point. Yen Yen is going on a blind date tomorrow with a famous person in our city. They're hosting a banquet at the Hilton Hotel. Can you and Qin Chu come as well?" Huamin immediately understood. She knew that Hua Jinghai wouldn't ask her out for tea for no reason. So it was because Hua Yen Yen was going on a blind date, and he wanted her and Qin Chu to go. After all, the president of GK was too eye-catching. "Oh, what a coincidence, Mr. Hua. We're not free tomorrow. It's just a short lunch break. Just say hi when you guys come." Hua Jinghai tried to negotiate with Huamin. "Hua Yen Yen and I aren't that close. I think it's enough if you can convince Hua Xiqian to come." After speaking, Huamin got into his car and left. He didn't want to waste any more time talking to Hua Jinghai. It was rare for him to have a day off, so Huamin immediately drove to find Zhu Lingling. The two of them sat in a private room in Huamin's new coffee shop. They chatted casually. "Girl, is there still no news in your stomach?" Zhu Lingling quietly asked. Chapter 882. Huamin's hand paused in the middle of stirring the coffee. Then she shook her head. "Well, I heard from my mom that there's an old Chinese medicine doctor on an old street near my house. He seems to be quite good. There were a few young couples who went to see him, and then they really had a baby. I think Chinese medicine won't hurt people anyway. Wouldn't it be better if they got better? Anyway, my mom said that he's quite amazing. Since you're free today, do you want to go see him?" If it was every other time, Huamin would have rejected her outright. However, this time, she only said one word, "Okay." Then, Huamin drove Zhu Lingling to the street where she lived. It was an old industrial area. Since Zhu Lingling grew up here, she was used to living here and was too lazy to move to the city center. Finally, she led Huamin to a small courtyard in an alley. As soon as they entered, a big stupid dog barked. "What are you doing here?" An old lady with an unknown accent came out of the courtyard. "Hello, we're looking for Mr. Wang." Zhu Lingling vaguely remembered that the family's surname was Wang. "Oh, are you here to see a doctor?" Huamin nodded. "Come in, it's 20 yuan for registration," the old lady said as she reached out her hand. Before Huamin could open her bag, Zhu Lingling immediately took out 20 yuan from her pocket and handed it over. Then the old lady led them all the way inside until they came to a small house. An old man in his 80s was sitting there with a pair of reading glasses and arranging herbs. There was a strong smell of Chinese medicine in the house. "Old man, we have a patient." "Oh, got it." The old man wasn't deaf at all. After hearing that, he stopped what he was doing. He turned around and walked over with slow steps. "Which one of you wants to see a doctor?" "Me," Huamin replied. "What do you want to see?" The old man asked seriously. "I just want to check your pulse to see if you have any diseases." Zhu Lingling didn't want Huamin to say it himself. After all, she couldn't say that she was infertile. It would be awkward. The old man nodded and gestured for Huamin to sit on the chair. Then he placed a wrist pad under Huamin's right wrist and began to take his pulse. The technique looked quite professional. In fact, Huamin did not believe in Chinese medicine because he studied Western medicine. It was just that there were very few traditional Chinese medicine practitioners nowadays. Most of those who graduated from medical school only knew a little about it. Then, they pretended to be godly doctors and randomly prescribed medicine. It was true that Chinese medicine couldn't kill people, but if it didn't treat the illness, it couldn't be cured. If it wasn't for Zhu Lingling, she really didn't plan to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. Her mother had mentioned it before, but she didn't respond. "Doctor, how is it? What's wrong with my friend?" Zhu Lingling asked anxiously. The old man slowly retracted his hand and glanced at Huamin. "She's lacking in both blood and qi. She's suffering from cold and dampness. Her womb is cold. She has a cold constitution. She probably has menstrual cramps, right?" Huamin nodded obediently. "Take care of your body. Otherwise, it won't be easy for you to have a baby in the future," the old man sighed. Huamin and Zhu Lingling looked at each other. "Does she need to take some medicine?" Zhu Lingling asked. "If you trust me, I'll get some for you. If you don't, you can go to the pharmacy and buy some medicine to warm up the womb. It's best if you take it for 3 months, the old man advised. Then I'll get some from you." Huamin felt that the old man was right. From a Western medicine perspective, he knew that he had a cold womb. Then, he got more than 200 yuan worth of Chinese medicine from the old man. As soon as Huamin got home, she started boiling Chinese medicine in a jar. The entire kitchen was filled with the smell of Chinese medicine. He had to take 1 packet of medicine 3 times a day. The smell was very strong and unpleasant. Most of the medicine was made from famous Chinese herbs. Anyone who had eaten Chinese herbs before knew how sour it was. After Huamin drank it all in 1 gulp for the first time, her stomach churned. Then she couldn't help but rush to the bathroom to vomit. When Qin Chu came back, Huamin was still vomiting. She forced herself to drink it, but she couldn't help but vomit. Her entire mouth was filled with the weird taste of Chinese herbs. "Honey, what's wrong?" Qin Chu frowned slightly. Chapter 883. "I'm fine." Huamin waved her hand. After brushing her teeth, she came out of the bathroom. Then, she slumped onto the sofa. "Did you make Chinese medicine?" Qin Chu's nose went numb. "Yeah." Huamin didn't try to hide it and nodded. "What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" Qin Chu touched Huamin's head and realized that she wasn't feeling hot. "I went to see a Chinese doctor today. They said that I have a cold uterus. It's not easy to get pregnant with a body like this, so I wanted to get some Chinese medicine first," Huamin said nonchalantly. "You can use dates and brown sugar as a treatment. Why did you have to drink Chinese medicine?" "Those are too slow. I want to get better quickly," Huamin said stubbornly. Qin Chu hugged her lovingly. "Honey, you don't have to be like this, really. Even if we don't have a baby, I won't blame you. This is good enough." "But I'll feel uneasy. I want a baby." Huamin looked lonely. Just then, a timer beeped from the kitchen. Huamin went to the kitchen to get the 2nd bowl of Chinese medicine. Then, Qin Chu looked at her and drank the bowl of black medicine in 1 gulp without even frowning. Then, Huamin covered her mouth to stop herself from vomiting. Seeing how stubborn Huamin was, Qin Chu's heart ached. However, he knew Huamin's temper. Once she decided on something, she would do it until the end. So he didn't stop her. Instead, he took out a peach from the fridge, cut it into pieces, and handed it to her. "Eat something to suppress it. You'll feel better." Huamin took a small piece and put it in her mouth. Then she smiled and said, "Honey, you're home early today." "My dad's home. He wants us to go back for dinner tonight." "Tonight? Yeah, why? What's the matter?" "Huasiqian told me to go back tonight during the meeting this morning. I'm guessing that the Huas are going to do something big tonight. Then I'll accompany you to the Hua family." Qin Chu had never been worried about the relationship between Huamin and Huasiqian, so he immediately said that he wanted to accompany her. "What about your father?" Huamin felt that something was not right. "It doesn't matter. We can go tomorrow, Qin Chu said slowly. Huamin nodded. Qin family mansion. She thought that Qin Chu and Huamin would come back for dinner, so the maid prepared a dozen dishes. However, Qin Chu suddenly called and said that he wouldn't come back. Qin Yumin turned to the maid and said, "The food is ready now. You don't have to wait." Chu is not coming back? Lady Qin was immediately displeased. Yeah, they have something to do. What is it? Don't they have time to come home for dinner? Lady Qin asked in annoyance. Qin Yumin didn't let Song Yisher come over because he thought that they were coming back. He didn't want his daughter-in-law to think too much. Unfortunately, they weren't back yet. Chu said that the Hua family has something to deal with tonight, so they went back. What? They'd rather go back to the Hua family than come to our house? It must be Huamin's idea. Everyone says that I hate her. Did you see that? She's purposely going against me. Lady Qin suddenly lost her cool. They went back to the Hua family for something. Why are you getting so worked up? Qin Yumin didn't like his wife's attitude. He, Qin Chu, and Huamin all thought that Lady Qin was going through menopause. Why would they go back to the Hua family for something? They're such a twisted family. What year is it now? How can they still live in the same house? They're a joke in our world. Hu Jinghai, that shameless old man, is still as indecent as ever. Okay, let's eat. Mind your own business. Qin Yumin was impatient. He ignored his wife and walked straight to the dining table. On the other side, Huamin and Qin Chu drove their Maybach to the Hua family's house at just the right time. 6:30 p.m. Hu Jinghai was pleasantly surprised to see Qin Chu and Huamin. Why didn't you call in advance? I wanted to ask the kitchen to add more food, Hu Jinghai said happily. It's okay, we'll be leaving soon. Huamin's tone was very indifferent. However, he still had to be polite. Qin Chu also bought Hu Jinghai a lot of high-end gifts. When they arrived, the Hua family was already there. Jiang Hong, who hadn't seen Huamin in a long time, was also very enthusiastic. I haven't seen you in a while. Mian is becoming more and more elegant. Jiang Hong smiled. You're too kind, Mrs. Hua. Huamin was indifferent to them. I knew my little sister Mian was always punctual. You said 6:30 p.m., not a second later. Hua Xiqian walked down the stairs. Qin Chu didn't like the way Hua Xiqian kept calling her little sister Mian. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.